This is our full video podcast about David Fincher's film Gone Girl, history segment, movie discussion, everything. First, we start by talking about Gillian Flynn's novel, Gone Girl, and how it defined a genre of literature, still defines it to this day. Then David Fincher and Gillian Flynn worked together very well to write and produce Gone Girl, a great movie. Everybody loved it. And the inspired casting of Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike. That's the history segment. If you want to skip past the history segment and get to the movie discussion, look at the timestamps in the episode description, look for movie discussion, and just jump to that spot in the episode where Laci and I go all through this movie. It is a very long discussion because we both have so much to say, and we just love this movie so much. Hope you enjoy One Week Rental, our episode about Gone Girl. Yes, hello, and this is One Week Rental, a movie podcast. We spent the last week with Gone Girl, and now we're going to tell you everything that we have learned about it. My name is Matt Stokes.
And I am Laci Roth. I'm still here.
She's still here. She's still married to me.
I'm not gone.
Nope.
Girl.
You don't want a gone girl. You want a here girl. And we'll tell you why. Just
Heal.
Keep going.
Girl.
And you'll learn all about that. Laci and I are married. We've been married a long time. And before you even ask, yes, Laci did fake her death and make me look like I committed her murder. And yes, it did save our marriage.
What else do you do for your 3rd year anniversary?
Exactly. And we're doing better than ever. We've had a child just like the Dunns. Everything worked out great.
The cat is fine.
We love Gone Girl. Do you love Gone Girl? I mean, who wouldn't like Gone Girl?
Idiots. Fucking idiots.
I know. I'm mad at them. I'm mad at them.
Come
I don't even
at
know
us.
if they exist.
Exist
But I was
us.
just thinking, if somebody said they didn't like Gone Girl, I would just be like, man,
yeah.
you need to examine your head. You
Okay,
know?
there are very literal people who maybe just would like overanalyze the situation.
Yeah, and I say, go fly a kite. That's what I'd tell them
I say
to do.
get Gone Girl.
This feels like a newish movie for us to be covering despite it being 12 years old,
Oh.
but we love Gone Girl. We watch Gone Girl all the time,
I love
seriously. At least once a year. We
I love
love
it.
We love David Fincher. This is my favorite David Fincher movie. Is it your favorite David Fincher movie, Laci?
It's my 3rd favorite David Fincher
What?
movie. But that's hard because he has so many that like
Good director.
they're just really in me, you know? They're like, they're like suppositories for my brain.
That's the perfect way
They
to put it.
make my poop come out my ears.
That's what you want, yeah.
Did you want to know my listing or what we doing that?
Just tell me, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, so the first one has to be The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It's a fucking journey. All of his movies are, but that one particularly.
Yeah, I love that one.
All right. Number 2 is Seven. Then Gone Girl, then Zodiac, then Social Network, then Fight Club, Panic Room, The Game, The Killer, and then I haven't seen the other ones that he has directed.
Yeah, between Gone Girl and Zodiac for me, but he's directed a lot of great movies, and we do plan on doing a Social Network episode later this year, maybe in September, maybe in November. Why am I telling you this?
I don't know.
I think we've already said it on the podcast once that we're doing a Social Network episode, but also this is, if you are just joining us, if you haven't been with us since at least last summer, what we do during the summer is we change things up a little bit on One Week Rental. I mean, we continue to spend the week with a movie and then tell you all about it. We watch it twice. We research it. If it's based on a book like Gone Girl, I'll end up reading the book. I've read it a bunch of times, but I did read Gone Girl again. Very fun book to read. And we research it. We read all the interviews and we tell you all about it. But during the summer, we focus in on one individual.
We just make a meal out of it. And we track the movies we watch with the career and life of said subject. It enriches.
Right, like how Italians, like you finish your meal and you're like, time to go, and they're like, oh no, we gotta get coffee, and you're like, okay, so some coffee. And they're like, no, that'll be like another 3-4 hours here at this table. That's what we are like. In 2024, we did Steven Spielberg, the summer of Steven Spielberg. No, the summer of Spielberg. That's what we called it. Last summer we did The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Summer of Rock, and this summer we are doing
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. Very original movie podcast is going to discuss Christopher Nolan.
To be original.
And hey, what a remarkable coincidence. He has a new movie coming out this summer, so he'll be in the news. But Christopher Nolan is the subject of our miniseries. Everyone I've told that to has been very excited and said, can I be on the Batman episode?
I don't want to do the Batman episode.
Oh, well, we're doing 3.
I think we just skip right over that.
We're doing 3.
We're not doing it.
That will start 2 weeks from today. 1 week from now, we're taking a week off.
Yeah, suck it.
And then June 12th, be back with an episode about Memento.
Unsuck it.
June 19th, an episode about Batman Begins. June
Eat it.
26th, an episode about The Prestige.
It's my birthday. Why would you not let me pick on my fucking birthday?
We're going in chronological. Okay, what do you want?
Oh.
What do you want, Laci?
Muriel's wedding.
Muriel's wedding. That's the most Nolan thing of all, is if you're watching Christopher Nolan's movies, all of a sudden this Australian wedding picture comes up.
It's not about a wedding.
It's not?
No.
You shouldn't judge a movie by its title.
Yeah,
okay.
and you always do. And I'm sick of it. I'm going to be gone.
So that's what's going to happen during the summer. This is it's kind of like our season finale or like our mid-season. I don't know.
It's a moment.
So we're going out with a bang before our summer miniseries, before the summer of Nolan starts. With a bang. We wanted to treat ourselves to one of our favorite movies, so we watched Gone Girl, and we're going to tell you all about it now. So this all starts with Gillian Flynn, who wrote Gone Girl. You read Gone Girl?
You fucking know better than to ask me such
I thought that Gone Girl was one of the books you read.
Nope. I don't
Really?
read nonfiction hardly ever.
It's fiction. It's not
That's
nonfiction.
I don't not read.
That's one of those words that they are making it too hard. It should be nonfiction should be fiction and vice versa.
So I don't read vice versa.
And another thing they need to do is this whole thing where they say the 19th century is the 1800s. Fix that. We don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to say the 17th century and like, oh, so that means the 1600s.
Right. I shouldn't
Come
have
on.
to do
Let's
math
all agree.
with
No.
your English. I shouldn't
16th
have to.
century means 1600s from now on, okay?
We fixed it.
I thought you had read all of Gillian Flynn's novels.
I've read none of them.
You should. They're fun.
Okay.
Well, Gone Girl's great. The other two, they show promise. I swore you read Dark Places and we talked about it.
I mean, I definitely probably did.
You definitely probably
I
did.
have no
Okay.
memory of it. But if you look at my Audible history, that would tell you.
Well,
Can you do an impression of the lady that reads the book, and then I'll tell you if
no, I can't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's the only way I know.
But she started Gillian Flynn did with that hard G. Gone Girl was such a fucking literary sensation that it started a genre or defined a genre and continues to define a genre of popular novel to this day.
Would you call that genre a sad lady?
Maybe we'd call it sad. I don't know. It's sort of, you can't sum it up with a few words. It has to be like, so these books are
Chick crime.
largely written for a female audience and consumed by a female audience, but we get the benefit of not having to present them as chick lit. And they are just like, they're basically middle brow books, but they have enough like cultural commentary and sort of postmodern flourishes that critics don't have to feel like dum-dums for reading and enjoying
Lady
them.
Win and Lose, I'd say, are the themes of her books. Lady Win and Lose.
Do you remember what Dark
Looking
Places is
into
about?
her pet. No, I remember Sharp Objects.
From the series?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gone Girl, continues to define the genre to this day. Everybody's like, where's our Gone Girl? Bring us a Gone Girl. Bring us a new Gone Girl. Well, no one has, including Gillian Flynn, who as of now has gone 14 years without writing another novel.
I don't fucking blame her. I'd be exhausted.
She's quietly the George R.R. Martin of women writers. Get to work, Gillian. What are you doing?
Ugh, sounds like a real nuisance. Try to walk down the street. I dare ya.
Where's your book?
Why you got time to Walmart? You got time to write.
That has been George R.R. Martin's life. Everything he posts, people are like, fuck you, get inside, get on that typewriter. What are you doing? Watching the New York Jets, seeing the Grateful Dead.
Do you know how old you are? Damn
It is funny. If you like, as he's a big old fat jolly man, and he's like, how it doesn't feel good for everybody to tell me, please hurry up and write, because you're gonna die. We know you're gonna die.
Right.
You're gonna die really soon. Anyway, that's exactly what Gillian Flynn is like. So,
Cool name, though.
from a 2018 New York Times profile of Gillian Flynn, quote, to experience Flynn's work is to submit yourself to a series of increasingly incredulous whats? A deliberate first act of unsettling exposition and character development sets up a chain of wild twists in the second. The stories are propelled by female narrators who lay bare their nastiest impulses to the audience, but not, crucially, to the people in their lives, adding psychological depth and the sense of illicit confession to the cheap thrills of her high-wire plots. End quote. Again, this is when you read this kind of cultural criticism, this is where you realize the job of the cultural critic is take something that's fun and just dress it up with as much highfalutin language as you can to make it be like.
It literally said high wire.
This is why it's not just fun, it's important. Which, I think it is. I think Gone Girl, a novel, it's unusual for me to like a novel and a movie as much as I do. I think that
You mean on the same level?
Yes, I think that it's a great book and a great movie, and weirdly they reinforce each other.
Huh.
And that's because she wrote the screenplay for the movie. She was very involved. So it's almost like they're canon with each other. And reading the novel, I think, enhances the enjoyment of the movie and vice versa.
That's good to know.
But
and which is all I will know, because I won't know the joys of the book because I won't read it.
Why not? Just do it.
God, I'm in the middle of other stuff.
Just
got a lot going on.
She grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. All her novels are set in Missouri and in Kansas.
Thoughtful.
And she has a very good sense of place of that specific part of the country. Not quite South, not quite Midwest, not quite West. And her dad was a film professor. He indoctrinated her with a love of horror movies from a very early age. And she worked as a feature and television critic for Entertainment Weekly from 1998 to 2008. During that time, she published her first novel, Sharp Objects, in 2006. She wrote and sold her second novel, Dark Places. That would ultimately be published in 2009, but that she was laid off by Entertainment Weekly in 2008. During that time, when she was laid off, she starts working on Gone Girl, and it's very, very influenced by the financial crisis and basically the decimation of the traditional media industry. The book makes a much bigger deal about their careers going away, about the idea that you can't do what you used to do anymore. And I think that the movie's very interested in this idea of just a world that is in terminal decline. Everything is in decay.
What happens when everybody has idle hands?
Yes, and we're still trying to give the appearance that things are fine and we can still live the lives we always led.
What would someone like Amy do in fucking Missouri without a job, without New York?
Oh, going to this place where I think they say it in the movie that like the mall closed. It was a big source of jobs. Now it's where everybody does drugs, like the local factory or whatever closed.
That is a scene I forget every time is in that movie. That feels like it's from a Better Call Saul or something.
Yeah, but it's like the movie is such a good eye for what these places look and feel like. And I think that like we live in a place that feels like this, where you can go in these neighborhoods that have very nice houses and all the grass is way too high because all the houses are empty because no one lives in these houses. There's something so creepy about that, where you feel it feels apocalyptic. Well,
like Detroit. Detroit is definitely the most of that. I'd never experienced that except for Katrina until I went to Detroit.
Yeah, that is how it feels in Detroit. The movie Barbarian does a good job.
Yeah,
showing that
just empty. With a person occupant, is there going to be electricity in this house? I don't know. This could be a squatter, could be an owner. Empty.
At least with Detroit, you get a sense of history. Like stuff used to be here. With these big like McMansions or just these tracts of suburban houses that are way too big for little families to live in. No one ever lived in them. Or if they did, it was very brief. It's like they put them up and then the economy collapsed and no one could afford them anymore. And there's something so creepy about that. And there's something so creepy about seeing Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike in this giant house, just the two of them. That's just, you don't belong. This sense, I kept thinking while I was reading the book, like this is a book about people who died and don't know they're dead. It's like the ghosts and the others. You're lingering.
Well, it's like that location has never felt more true than this. It's you can be surrounded by lovely things and in a nice home, but they're just things in a house. They're right, without friends, without family, without connection, and you're not even like having good conversation with your husband anymore. It might as well be a prison.
So Gillian did not plan out the novel. She didn't know the twist. She said she just started writing. And then after she got started, she got pregnant. So she decided, I'm taking a traditional maternity leave. Didn't look at the book for 3 months. And then when she went back to it, she said, what the fuck is this?
Oh, Gillian.
But it comes out and is a huge, just enormous hit. Back to that profile from the New York Times. Quote, Flynn's books fall into a category you might call anti-middlebrow, packaged as thrillers written in the knowing pop cultural cadence of mid-2000s blogs and comprising a disorienting blend of genre influence. They avoid the striving pretensions of bad literary fiction, despite also being fairly dense and containing, sneakily, many of the pleasures of a digressive social novel. End quote. So Gone Girl comes out, becomes a huge a phenomenon. But before the movie, for 2 years before the movie comes out, it's, #1 on the best sellers, back and forth with 50 Shades of Grey. They're the two dominant novels of the time.
Wow. That really shows the two sides of every lady. Kind of smart and kind of a slut.
You're kind of into BDSM, but you're a baby about
Christian.
it. Yes, definitely a Christian.
Definitely a housewife, even if we're sad.
Yeah, or you're a sad housewife who's a murderer and also a Christian.
A murderer for her family.
Quote, people expect from Flynn, at minimum, a brooding goth, world-weary and unpleasant. So when they encounter a chipper straight-talker with a wholesome dependency on Cherry Coke Zero and a Midwestern accent, she pronounces Missouri, Missouri, drops her ings to eens, and is so bad at cooking she can't boil an egg. They start to suspect something even more sinister lurking beneath her crooked CVS reading glasses.
Who is
End
this?
Quote.
Who is this? The protagonist of which book?
This is Gillian Flynn. They're like, the twisted mind of Gillian Flynn. You know how you see Tim Burton movies and then you see Tim Burton
You're
and
like,
you think, that makes sense? Yeah. Opposite with Gillian Flynn. She's like, oh, hi there. I'm Gillian. Oh, yeah.
She's
nice to meet you.
One kid strapped to her front, one kid strapped to her back.
There's little Nick on my old hip there.
Okay. Got a hip holder, a holster. I have an open carry baby.
The book's a huge hit. But with all this comes more attention and questions. We need to talk about Gone Girl and the many problems with its sexual politics.
What?
Specifically as regards a woman making false sexual assault allegations, content warning for discussions of sexual assault. Okay, from a 2013 interview with Gillian Flynn in The Guardian, a profile of an interview with Gillian Flynn. Quote, the most persistent charge against Flynn's books concerns their sexual politics. Gone Girl's plot turns partly on one female character fabricating a charge of rape. A trope that exists because it's powerful, Eva Weissman wrote in The Observer, but that perpetuates an idea that can be complicated. Others have accused her of peddling misogynist caricatures and a deep animosity towards women. More generally, it's true of all Flynn's novels that her women can be reliably predicted to outdo the men in their capacity for moral depravity. Flynn identifies herself as a feminist, but does she worry that she's damaging that cause in the quest for narrative shocks? Flynn says, to me, that puts a very, very small window on what feminism is. Is it really only girl power and you go girl and empower yourself and be the best you can be? For me, it's also the ability to have women who are bad characters. The one thing that really frustrates me is the idea that women are innately good, innately nurturing. In literature, they can be dismissively bad, trampy, vampy, bitchy types, but there's still a big pushback against the idea that women can be just pragmatically evil, bad and selfish. I don't write psycho bitches. The psycho bitch is just crazy. She has no motive. And so she's a dismissible person because of her psycho bitchiness. End quote.
Right. This is a false rape allegation made by a genius, like with a plan, with a 5-year laid out thing that she's going to achieve. This isn't just someone trying to get attention. It's also a comment on class because it's Amazing Amy who was saying this guy raped her. It has a big deal. There's a trial. He's on a sex offender list or whatever. I'm just like, it's sexist to say that anyone that says that someone raped them would get the same outcome, as if this is like some scourge.
Well, right.
This is an outcome because she's a beautiful, blonde, rich lady from New York.
She does not stand in for all women. She is a very, very, very specific woman.
Oh, yes. I mean, you would be hard-pressed to find the person who's watching this movie and relating to her and not the sister or the cop.
Right. And like you just said,
or even the neighbor that ends up next to her in like that little place she rents for a while she's hiding.
Right, because one of the things that's great about Rosamund Pike's performance is that
she's an alien.
She's an alien. Her voice,
eyes,
everything about her
hair,
seems like it's not of this world.
Right. When she's not narrating herself, I'm surprised words are coming out of her mouth. Like she feels like she should only be narrated. Everything's just so measured.
Mm-hmm. The death of ever writing interesting characters, though, is the idea that I have a responsibility to only show virtuous characters.
Yes. How boring would that be?
And like,
I love that I don't know if she's a good mom or will be one or if they're going to be happy. I love that Nick is attracted to like how fucked up she is and kind of loves the faking of it all. And he doesn't know what's going to happen next. I think he gets bored easy. I think he was only interested with the girl he was having an affair with because it was an affair.
And I think that she likes him so much more than she's telling us. She really, really, actually really likes him.
She fought
and needs to be able to justify
But they went into a relationship both being the coolest fucking high achieving versions of themselves, and that was a gentleman's agreement. And he started showing how good old boy regular American he is, and he broke the agreement. I just like that. No. We both signed up to pretend the rest of our lives, so get back on that.
But he teaches her that the pretending, you certainly don't want that, because that's Desi. That's Neil Patrick Harris. She sits down at the table. How could I ever be bored with you, Desi? You can quote Proust in French. You don't want this. That's boring. And he fucking is obsessed with you and will do all the things you always complained about your husband not doing, but you hate him for it. So you don't actually want those things.
You win.
It's her having to come to terms with, like, I kind of like my himbo doofus husband.
I kind of like that I live in Missouri.
Yeah, I kind of like eating food from the gas station.
I definitely don't like his sister.
But obviously, female false allegations of rape are exceptionally rare. I was reading another article. That article I just read from referenced a different article that I read that put it like the reason it ever makes the news is because it's newsworthy that it happens, because
right.
It's so exceptional if it happens. But it is a wonderfully compelling plot device. You can disagree with me, but I think that is not the responsibility of an artist to portray an idealized society.
Fucking
or that.
not. Because would it be on her if her book wasn't a success? How is she supposed to know that every book she writes is going to be a fucking hit? You don't know going into it that you don't just have one really good book in you, or even one at all. So why should you write with the intention of, like, this? There will be a huge spotlight on me. I better really show up for the ladies. It's not on you.
And that I'm putting women in the best possible light. I mean, a much more reasonable way to look at it is like, people need to understand not to get their morality and worldview from fun novels that they read.
And I'd say it's anti-feminist to put all this on the shoulders of one writer.
Quoting again from the New York Times, quote, Flynn's response to these questions is refreshingly pragmatic. She wrote a character and she wanted to see what that character would do under certain conditions. Still, the Fuhrer upsets her. Though she has always been aware of feminism in general and identifies as a feminist, she says she could be better versed in feminist theory and was blindsided by the occasionally vitriolic accusations of misogyny she faced. No, most women don't falsify rape claims, she says, but most women also don't frame their cheating husbands for their own murders. Flynn remembers one negative review in particular of the movie adaptation directed by David Fincher, which she paraphrased for me. It ended by saying that Fincher and I had found in each other evil soul twins of death, that we were riding off into the sunset, into hell, and that on the back of our car it said just married. Reading it made her wonder, only half jokingly, if she'd killed feminism. End quote.
Calm the fuck down, everybody. Sorry you made an awesome... Man, people cannot take it when somebody's got a vagina and did something real fun.
There's just this compulsion, especially if you're in the cultural criticism industry. If you enjoy something, you have to find some way to, like, I was gonna say, this needs to take accountability for something.
Right. I mean, as a critic, like, I always think about that as like being a food critic. Like, there's only 5 things to say about anything you've eaten, right? Like, if you're trying to, you need some other kind of hook if you want to prevent yourself from saying the same thing 50 times before you've had 5 years of your career into this sort of work. So why not bitch? Try to start a little controversy or something. At least you'd get views and clicks. That's
how you can keep it going, how we can keep talking about this, because it's like, we all liked Gone Girl.
Right, but then it just, like, muddies everything, and we're all talking about something none of us actually fucking care about because you were just trying to get clicks. Don't do that. You're a critic. Be a critic.
I mentioned a few weeks ago that Reese Witherspoon produced this movie and indeed was the original intended star to play Amazing Amy.
And Fincher said, no.
Well, let's tell that story now. She partners with 20th Century Fox. They pay $1.5 million for the rights to the movie, including Gillian Flynn getting to be the screenwriter. And Reese Witherspoon will be the producer and the star. This was a time where the female-centric IP coming from the world of novels like Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey was doing huge business in movies. So this made a lot of sense for 20th Century Fox. This was a very big fee for them to pay, and very unusual to get the author to be able to become the screenwriter. We talked about movies in the past where this has happened,
and hit or miss. Usually miss.
Not only just authors being involved and hurting the projects, but then literally getting to write the screenplays. Often when they're credited as writing the screenplays, they usually were removed pretty early on. Like Michael Crichton is the official credited screenwriter of Jurassic Park, but by all accounts, he didn't actually write the film.
I will say, though, it's one of those things where when it works exceptionally well, because you just highlighted how, it's so rare for you to like a book and a movie as a package rather than having to pick one or the other. And like, that's the like symbiosis you can get when a story is already exactly what it needs to be, but there's things you can do with a movie that you can't do with words on a page. And like having someone who equally sees the potential in that rather than, but I think it'd be cool if we completely go off the script here,
I think that a lot of that has to do with her partnership with David Fincher. He seems like he really liked her.
That's what I mean. Like there's a respect for each. They trust each other.
And I think it seems like a lot of that comes from she was a film buff. She wrote about movies for Entertainment Weekly. She did a long profile of Peter Jackson in New Zealand when he was directing Lord of the Rings. So she's not precious about her status as a novelist. She also cares about movies, even though she had never written a movie before, and was like aware of other instances where an author got pissed off for having stuff changed from novel to movie, but realized movies are different. And so there's going to be things that I have to change as I adapt my own work. She told The Hollywood Reporter in 2012, quote, "Just recognizing that a movie is a very different thing than a book. There are certain things you might love in the book, like a dialogue exchange, that just can't translate to a movie. I constantly have to remind myself that these are two very different mediums. It certainly was helpful having grown up with my dad as a film professor, and I studied movies and worked at Entertainment Weekly. You see books that translate really well into film and some that don't, and you try to figure out what works." So Gillian Flynn turns in the first screenplay to the first draft of the screenplay in 2012, but the project still didn't have a director. Now, she says she always wanted David Fincher. He was the obvious choice to do it. She said, she told the Kansas City Star, quote, "I was back home in KC for Christmas, and on December 26th, I got a call asking me to hop on a plane and meet David Fincher in Los Angeles. It was David Fincher, so of course I did. It was a great meeting. We really clicked and had a great conversation about the kind of film we'd like to make." Fincher has and then the writer of the article says, "Fincher has a reputation for being hard on actors, demanding retake after retake. Apparently, though, he has a soft spot for writers." Flynn said, "He gave me amazing notes. He really knew where and how the story worked," end quote. In 2014, she told the Los Angeles Times, quote, "Being someone who covered movies for a lot of years, I know how the story goes, which is the author gets to do a first draft, and then the author is immediately fired and someone else is brought in. It would have been the easiest thing in the world for David Fincher to say, 'Good job, kid, but I just want one of my people in here for the sheer sense of comfort.'" Fincher said he did have trepidation about working with a first-time screenwriter adapting her own novel, but he said the two quickly found a rapport. "She took to it really deftly," said Fincher, now collaborating with Flynn on a TV series for HBO titled Utopia. "She's a big movie buff. She watches more movies than I do. And she's extremely articulate about what she wants as that popcorn-munching girl in the second row craning her neck to see the whole screen at Cinerama Dome. It was an easy transition." End quote. David Fincher rewrites all his movies, but he rarely takes screenwriting credit. In Gone Girl, she gets the sole screenwriting credit that got her a $500,000 bonus for that, and that's basically something that he gave to her. He didn't demand that he get screenwriting credit. This is our first time covering a David Fincher movie on the show, so
there's a lot to chew on.
Yeah.
God, I mean, there are so few people who have this beautiful of a, here's the movies I've made. And like just proudly wear these as badges of honor. The only one I haven't seen, well, there's a couple, but Benjamin Button just never looked good to me. Is it actually good?
I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters when I hated it. Every time I sit down to try it again, because like I'm sure it's good.
Okay. I always confuse it with Jim Black.
No, Meet Joe Black, which I'm sure is terrible.
Did they come out around the same time?
No,
or
they were years and years apart.
I lumped them in weird Brad Pitt movies.
I loved Zodiac, and then I saw that the next year, and I hated it. And every time I try to give it another chance, I see the running time. It's like 3 hours.
Oh.
And I remember bad New Orleans accent. Although Brad Pitt spends a lot of time in New Orleans. So maybe, I don't know. I'll give it another shot.
All right, let me
one
know.
day. But as I said, we are going to do a Social Network episode later this year, and we'll probably go more into Fincher himself in that episode. I just wanted to go deeper on some of these other characters in this movie. Obviously, he has the reputation for being very difficult, very expensive, and demanding his actors do tons and tons of takes. But actors love working with him. And from Benjamin Button in 2008 to Mank in 2020, every actor or every one of these movies got a lead acting Oscar nomination. So actors like working with him because he gets you Oscars. And Gone Girl was an enormous hit and did get major awards attention. Rosamund Pike got nominated for Best Actress, but it still took him 6 years to make another movie. Like the industry really emphasized IP, and
he's IP.
But
His
he's not
fucking
IP.
name.
He doesn't. His movies don't make as much money as Christopher Nolan movies make. So, and there's no chance for them to become franchises. And so the only reason to do it in their eyes is to get Oscars. But Gone Girl didn't win Best Picture or anything.
You should get an auteur pass.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
for
know.
having an
for whatever
eye,
reason,
for knowing how to tell a compelling story.
It did not make sense. It's like, how can this guy not get a movie made? But it also seems like he was very selective and he had some projects that fell apart.
When I look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the movies on the screen, and then also include Gone Girl, they are all a journey through a book. Like I can feel us turning the page in the chapter, and like that. All of these movies have that in common, and they're so rewatchable because of they're cohesive, but like you can't believe where you started when you see where you ended. Like, wow, what a fucking journey I went on.
When Netflix made House of Cards, which David Fincher developed for them, they developed with him. They were using their viewer data, both from their time when they sent people DVDs in the mail and then their early days of streaming. And they learned people really like to watch David Fincher movies. They watch them a lot.
They're episodic.
Watch them a ton.
Yes. Because you're just like, it's like the Baby Shark song, or like a band that knows 2-minute songs are the best. It's just like, just when you've gotten a good taste in your mouth for what you're watching, it turns the page and you're like, what the fuck's up with this now?
Yeah, he's like Baby Shark.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
They also learned people really like that Kevin Spacey, so they built a show around the two of them.
They love how he knocks.
So, who is going to play Amazing Amy? Well, Reese Witherspoon, of course. She's the producer, and she's like, this is a vehicle for me. Now, were you thinking about that as you watched the movie last night?
A little bit, but I mean, as soon as Rosamund Pike's on the screen, I can only look at her. And I completely forgot that anyone ever else was going to even think about it until she was doing her super bad Nolans accent and everyone around her's talking like a little bumpkin. And I'm like, well, Reese would have really came out here, but like it would have been too fitting. Mm-hmm. It would have totally taken me out of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, Reese.
That's so great hearing her talk. Like, I'm playing an American because she's British, and now she's playing this New Yorker who's pretending to be from New Orleans, and it sounds like nothing you've ever heard before.
Way to pick the hardest fucking accent.
But you know, when she has her calendars and her planners and stuff, that's when you can really see the Reese Witherspoon. This is also how Reese Witherspoon would plan a murder.
Sure. But you got to plan it. That's the whole thing.
So Reese is producing the movie. She hires David Fincher, and then his first order of business is telling her, you're not going to be in the movie. Reese Witherspoon told the Las Culturistas podcast last year, quote, David sat me down, and this is not on David, but David's like, you're totally wrong for this part. I'm not putting you in it. I had all these conversations with the writer Gillian Flynn, and she was like, no, I'd really like you to do it. But Fincher was like, you're wrong. This was, first of all, an ego check from me. It was like, no, you're not right for everything. And he was right. He was totally right. Fincher just killed it. And Rosamund Pike is so diabolical. And Ben Affleck is sort of the rube on the other side of it. End quote. Yeah. It ended up with Rosamund Pike. Who is Rosamund Pike? Or Rosamund Pike? I don't know how to pronounce it. 34-year-old British actress. Fincher told The Independent in 2014, quote, it was their actual unknowability from the previous 4 or 5 movies that I had seen. That's what I needed. I needed somebody who was inscrutable. I needed a bottomless well. Even if you have previous experience, you have no previous opinion of.
Ooh, I kind of think that's sort of how I feel about Rooney Mara. Like, I feel like each movie that I see her in, it's just like a redo. I don't feel like I'm watching one of her movies. I feel like it's whatever she wants it to be right here. She just kind of resets for me. You know how some actors are just themselves and others are the story?
Yeah, I think that she was that way when I saw her in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Now I have a feeling about Rooney Mara.
Okay.
And when I see her in movies, that's kind of all I see.
Okay.
But I definitely felt that way at the time. It was like I had seen her in stuff before, but seeing her in that movie was like a revelation.
I tell you, shaving eyebrows goes a long fucking way. It just does.
So Rosamund Pike had been probably much better known to British audiences because she was in a bunch of British TV, but she had been in Hollywood stuff for a long time. She's in the 2002 James Bond movie Die Another Day, where she fights with an ice sword. And she's in like the 2005 Pride and Prejudice. She's in the Tom Cruise Jack Reacher. But like Fincher said, what he said is kind of exactly how you would have felt about her, of like, I've seen her in stuff. I have no opinion of her at all because she'd never like gotten a chance to show what she can do. But obviously she is extremely talented. So let's give her the opportunity. It's so important that she has that voice. That so
Elizabeth
alien voice.
Holmes.
Yeah, kind of.
An affected voice, right.
That affected voice that is not even the character Amy's voice, because there is no Amy. Amy doesn't exist. Amy's like Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Yes, I was just going to say, she's like a person wearing a mask. Like she's wearing a skin suit, and it's beautiful, but like it's so still. Everything's so measured. And it's like watching ballet on a face. This is also on point.
The product of having grown up in the spotlight with this insane situation where everybody's read books based on your life, but based on who your parents wish you actually were, even though by all accounts you're incredible and high achieving and very smart and talented in everything you try to do. And then you're incredibly good looking also, but everybody is just projecting onto you everything they want you to be. And so there is nothing at all underneath there that you don't make up yourself. The other choices to play the role were Charlize Theron, Natalie Portman, and Emily Blunt, but Fincher was always the champion of her.
And I can see all of those, but they all carry with them their theyness.
Yeah.
Especially Natalie Portman.
And I think because, on the other hand, you have Ben Affleck, where so much of he's great and he's a great actor, but so much there is something so meta about his casting that you have to go the opposite direction for Amy. You have to be somebody who people don't have baggage and a prior relationship with. Because for Ben Affleck, we've kind of lived with Ben Affleck so long, the highs and lows, the comebacks and the regressions and the failed marriages and then the new marriages and then the wonderful new marriage falls apart. Like, people are just used to it. But when I was super getting into movies as a teenager, Ben Affleck was a fucking joke.
Right, he was just a bro.
And I had missed the early part of his career where he was like a critical darling, where people loved him, with Good Will Hunting, winning the Oscar for writing it with Matt Damon, and for just being just this cool, charismatic young actor in all these indie movies. I didn't have that with him. I just start paying attention when he is despised and everyone hates him.
What movie would that be?
So 2003 is when it really, like, he has Daredevil and Gigli. And Gigli is the one that gets all the...
It's the J-Lo era. You flew too close to the sun. You don't get to be married to J-Lo and an actor with her in a movie.
Yeah, and in every single movie, and people don't seem to like him. What they liked about him early in his career, he's not doing in his movie star run in Pearl Harbor and in Daredevil. And then he tries to do this Gigli thing. It's like predetermined that this will be a bomb and everybody's going to hate it. And that's what happens. In 2004, GQ called him the world's most overexposed actor. The article was like...
Too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Literal overexposure.
The article is called Building a New Ben. It's like, all right, let's start over, Ben Affleck. How can we fix you? It said, quote, "People are starting to not like you, Ben. You're polling lower than Dennis Kucinich. You're too chatty, too tan, too everywhere. The other night we found you on Access Hollywood, Entertainment Tonight, MTV, Animal Planet, and the Jakarta Cricket Channel. You're so overexposed you could walk into the White House with Iraqi WMDs under one arm and Osama bin Laden under the other."
Oh, okay, this guy's calm the fuck down.
And the public reaction would be...
Is he doing a set?
This is Dennis Miller, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The public reaction would be, "Not another friggin' Ben Affleck story. By the way, the Mars rover says they're sick of you up there too." If you didn't live through this time, maybe you don't have the Ben Affleck baggage when you go into this movie.
You would have had to already be watching South Park to understand. Because, like, as soon as they are making fun of you, Matt Damon, like, then you've become a thing.
Yeah, in the episode where he gives Cartman a hand job because he falls in love with, or no, Cartman gives him a hand job because Jennifer Lopez lives on his fist. Yeah.
Right.
But that's the low point. So he's always getting compared to Matt Damon. Matt Damon's the smart one. You just rode Matt Damon's coattails. You talk about wanting to be a director. Are you kidding me?
Does he come back with his directorial debut? Is that you're about to tell me?
2004 is the low point. He marries Jennifer Garner the next year. He
needed a new Jennifer.
Needed to reboot with a new Jennifer. He was co-starring with her in Daredevil. They get married. And the movies aren't working. Daredevil, Gigli, Jersey Girl, Paycheck, Surviving Christmas. Reading now from a 2014 profile of Ben Affleck in the New York Times by Kara Buckley. Quote, "They disliked me, then they liked me. They hated me, and now they loved me." This line comes shortly before the final act of Gone Girl. Spoken sardonically by Ben Affleck's character, Nick Dunn, the words could just as easily have come straight from Mr. Affleck himself. End quote. Because 2014 was like the absolute height of the comeback, of the comeback arc that also was predetermined about him. We hated you in 2004. Ooh, you're going to start directing movies that people are going to love and you're going to win an Oscar. Oh, yes. It is just too perfect.
Well, and you need Carrie Coon also because, like, she's also this, like, if Rosamund Pike is extraterrestrial, Carrie Coon is grounded Earth.
She is terra firma. She is literally grounded.
She is just something so real, and, like, she can normalize anyone's behavior because the way she is in The Leftovers, her partner is saying batshit crazy stuff, but she's just like, okay, yeah. Like, there's just something, like, she signs off on it. You're like, okay, we're fine. And he just plops down in the bar and he's like, I might have killed my wife. Let's play this game. And because she's so chill, it's like, okay, this is just normal, but he's being normal.
Yeah, even though you don't know.
You don't know. They're playing with
Carrie
it.
Coon's a fucking freak too. That's what's great about Carrie Coon.
Okay, except for that, like, she's got morals and scruples, and you can tell that right away. And if she's signed off on it, you're still going with it.
Incredibly reasonable seeming, even as she's not reasonable. Just in The Leftovers, I'm saying. So Jennifer Garner is the Carrie Coon to the real Ben Affleck? She makes him seem.
I hate Jennifer Garner.
Really?
Yeah, she's another one that I just like. I wouldn't like to talk to you.
Okay.
I'm not going to go to the bar with that one. She's good with her dimples and everything. I like her in Catch Me If You Can, but only because she's a hooker. Other than that, she's just so precious. She's an Anne Hathaway. She just can't do anything wrong. I've got dimples I could hide a fucking syringe inside of.
Okay, interesting. I've wanted to do 13 Going on 30 on the podcast because I know that's a huge movie for people.
I don't like misunderstanding movies, but fine.
Is that a misunderstanding?
Isn't it a Freaky Friday? Isn't it I was 13 and now I'm big? It's big.
But I thought it was big. I didn't think she takes someone else's body. I think she's
still a misunderstanding. She's still walking around being an adult. People think she's an adult.
No, that's fine.
I don't like that. You can't tell me if I like that.
The beginning of the comeback for Ben Affleck was the 2006 movie Hollywoodland, where he played George Reeves, the actor who played Superman in the 1950s and was murdered. And a lot of the reviews were saying, wait a minute, Ben Affleck's really good in this. And I saw that movie in theaters, and I too thought, wait a minute, Ben Affleck can be good? I didn't know. I wasn't a Kevin Smith guy. I didn't know Ben Affleck could be good in stuff. I had never liked him before. So,
poor guy.
2007, he makes his directorial debut, Gone Baby Gone, starring his brother Casey, and it's a critically praised movie.
I remember it being good.
Yeah. 3 years later, The Town comes out. It's a giant hit, critically praised. And now the line on him is, he's an okay actor, but he's a great director. And so 2012, Argo, he directs Argo, and it's a big hit and gets a bunch of Oscar nominations. But the narrative was, it was weird that he didn't get nominated for Best Director. And everybody says, that's outrageous. Don't you know we're currently in the middle of the comeback for Ben Affleck's story? He needed to have gotten nominated for Best Picture or Best Director. Yes. And so it was almost like that narrative willed Argo, a pretty crappy movie, to winning Best Picture. And so he got to go up on stage anyway and accept the trophy because he's a producer on the movie. And do you remember this speech and what he said?
Of course not.
It was this thing. He thanked his wife and he said, marriage is a lot of hard work.
Ooh, ouch.
whenever I thought about that, I remember being much like more serious because people, I don't know, that was kind of off-putting to people.
Yeah, it's a weird way to start.
But now this idea of like Ben Affleck and marriage, a very public marriage, is just so identified with him. Let's watch the acceptance speech. Yeah, it was much better than in my memory.
He's precious.
But even that's part of it too. Of like,
no, it works for me.
So
I'm into it.
I forgot to mention the whole thing about Argo was it's a movie. I mean, it's CIA propaganda about how we rescued our brave patriots in Iran. And so that's why he called his wife Iran. In the public, Ben Affleck is just now very associated with the idea of marriage. So of course he has to play Nick Dunn.
Because he's so done.
The other contender for the role apparently was John Hamm.
Ooh, that's hot as shit. But too old.
And I guess that makes sense because he's from St. Louis. He's one of those famous St. Louisians.
The hard to read, I'm really handsome, so I get away with a lot, but I'm really handsome, so I'm also going to get in trouble. And I just can't help myself, but because I'm a little disconnected from everything, but I can also turn it on. You know, there's just some like, am I being marketed to by you, you handsome fuck?
It would have been good. He would have been good, and it would have been huge for his career because his movie career never really.
No, it didn't.
Did what it.
Should have. He's kind of like just does jokey shit.
Yeah, he's too associated with Don Draper, and he just seems like he's from another time.
He's such a good dramatic actor, and I feel like he didn't get any drama roles. I feel like he's just like this throwaway. Like, isn't it funny he's in here?
Yeah,
I'm
no drama roles.
Bridesmaids, and I'm thinking of Bottoms, and
it's the comedy roles that have and the Fletch movie was very good.
Oh, okay.
From the New York Times in 2014. Quote, there's nothing really about this guy or character that I feel connected to personally, except that I've definitely felt as though I was looking at a version of my life that I didn't recognize through the prism of the media. In the same profile, David Fincher said about Ben Affleck, quote, we had to have somebody who understood the lose-lose situation and somebody who knew what that meant and wasn't angry about it. He actually has great wit about it. As it relates to this circumstance, he can see the humor in it, even when he's the punchline. End quote. And then Gillian Flynn said about Ben Affleck, quote, the sense is, here's this guy who may have killed his wife, but also I would love to grab a cheeseburger with him. And is that weird? There's very few actors who have that aloofness, that little bit of arrogance, and that inherent likability.
Yes.
End quote.
I got goosebumps for that one.
And because he has the fucking stupid face with the dimple. You want to punch.
Dimple? You mean his butt. Yeah. His butt chin.
Is that not a dimple?
I guess it's a chin dimple. Sure. Yeah. But yet, God, they nailed it. John Hamm and him. Yep. You did it. You done did it. Those are the two.
And now this is the height of the Ben Affleck assance. He'll go on to play Batman, and then there'll be a lot of weird ups and downs. And
if Ryan Reynolds could just get out of his own fucking ass and like do things that challenged him, he could have. Like, he's got that too. If that's not true, if he just let himself be that and be serious and not be a fucking goofy idiot the whole time.
What movie has he given a real performance in?
Isn't there always that one people point to in the very beginning?
The one where he's buried?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I guess I got to see the Ryan Reynolds is buried movie.
Maybe he's one of those people who, when he goes to a dark place and it like he doesn't make it, maybe he wears it on his, might not have the psyche for it.
So he has to be like Adam Sandler and Paul Thomas Anderson. You need a real director to treat you like shit and debase yourself.
I mean, like, he's doing just fine, making just enough money without torturing himself like that. So,
yes. So Adam Sandler is kind of the cautionary tale. He always wanted people to treat him seriously, and he has made great movies. But for what end? Why put yourself through that when you could just go on vacation with your friends and make Grown Ups 3?
Right. Which he did.
So Gone Girl, that's Gone Girl. Giant hit, genre defining, both like the book was, and still it's almost like this artifact from a different era, because in 2014, despite it being a huge hit that everybody liked, despite getting all these Oscar nominations, the studio almost treated it like, who the fuck cares? There's no Gone Girl 2 we're going to get. So why do we even bother with this?
No one's wearing Gone Girl shirts.
We should be getting movies like Gone Girl all the time. And the other thing that I meant to bring this up earlier, like before we recorded.
No, now it's too late.
If you know that they must be so furious that they made it like 3 years too early to turn it into a streaming series. Yes. That you could so easily see the 10 episodes.
Yeah, because then you've got
Sharp Objects.
Yeah.
And her other novel, Dark Places, was turned into a movie with Charlize Theron in 2015. That was a bomb, and now it's getting turned into a streaming series. But you can so easily, I was going to ask you, like, hey, tell me what happens in each of the 8 episodes. And you can just see it and get mad in your head. Like, okay, episode 3 is going to be Amy as a kid. You're not going to see any of the regular actors. Episode 7, you're just going to follow Desi around. Like, you know how all of this goes. They're so mad that they didn't get to do that. All we did was a stupid movie. You bought the ticket and you went home. How does that help us?
I could puke. I could be sick over that, what you just described. Don't like it. The fucking Desi episode? Kill me.
Just let it be a movie. It's just a movie. You turn it on and then it's over. And 2 hours and 20 minutes of the best 2 hours, 20 minutes of your life.
Yes. And you can't wait for your goldfish brain to reset and you'll be like, I don't remember some Gone Girl. Let's watch it. And then you remember every part of it. But.
Exactly. We're going to talk about Gone Girl itself now.
I'll have weird hamster hair after this and have gained 10 pounds and have Nolan's accent. Because that's the era I'm in.
You'll hit yourself with a hammer. And I always think she's hitting that toothbrush into her throat, isn't she? Nope. She just has her toothbrush sticking out of her mouth. Decides now is the time. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm mid-brush.
Oh.
I shan't take the toothbrush from my mouth, rinse my mouth out. Now's the perfect time to hit myself in the eye with a hammer. And so I always think she's going to hit the toothbrush with that.
But why would she do
I don't know. To fucking impale herself. I don't know. Because she's a twisted fuck.
She's crazy. All right.
Hear all about this twisted fuck coming up next. You just sum up Gone Girl, and what is Gone Girl about? What word? When you look at Gone Girl, what word comes to your head?
The emptiness of housewifery.
Emptiness.
Going through the motions.
Performance.
Yeah. Well, if I had to pick one word.
I think that's what it is. Is performance.
Okay.
Because it's all over the movie. It's all, every interaction in life is a performance. We're all just performing things, and it escalates throughout the whole movie, ending with her having to get out of her situation by literally pantomiming these things that are happening to her for cameras.
That aren't happening. Right.
And all of these people who inexplicably. What I love about Ben Affleck's performance and what I really relate to is this feeling that everybody else in the world was briefed on how you're supposed to act in situations and I wasn't, and it's not fair. How do even her parents know how to handle the press conference? And then,
but I don't think they handle it well either. They keep saying amazing, Amy. It's like they're not even talking about their daughter. They're talking about the product they made.
That's what you got to do. They know how the game's played.
I don't think so. I think they come off as disingenuous, and I think what he expresses is how people of a certain age are all completely drenched in the Nancy Grace's coverage of different events. And it's just the juiciest piece of meat to chew on at the time. And there's not a lot to go around. So they're going to bring in experts in body language and faces. And I mean, he is a person who lived through the OJ trial. And I think he knows going in, there's not a right way to do this.
Well, I don't think he's thinking that, he's not consciously thinking that. He's just not clued in to that everybody's going to be judging you. Everybody's judging everything.
I don't think that's true. I don't think as soon as he takes a picture with that woman and he realizes he smiled, he's asked for it back.
But that's after he has been told by his sister.
That's before he's been watching the coverage and seeing how bad it played. He knew.
Right, but she is when he does the first press conference, she's right off stage just groaning with every single thing he does.
Yes, I know. And I think that he knows he's doing it wrong, but I think he's also just trying to do what feels natural, because at the end of the day, natural is the only thing he's going to be able to sell. Mm-hmm. And every time he tries to go against his nature, he comes off really even worse. So, no, I think from the beginning, I think when you're in a situation like that, people think wife, husband, you should be sad. You should be distraught. And instead, I think he's playing it pretty freaking right, which is this is weird, right?
Yes.
And just being kind of in disbelief that this could be an abduction for a while. What? Just because I called y'all, just because shit's weird here doesn't mean all of a sudden now it's an abduction. Not in my brain.
Right. He's even like leading them through the house. They've already been talking a while and he's like, should I be concerned?
Right. And he's going through the motions of like, well, I mean, this is weird. I'll call because this is weird. But like, he hadn't put it together that he should be scared. I mean, people break tables. The iron, he didn't even notice the iron was left. They're finding things he didn't see. And so he's learning with them. And all along, he's not acting like they're expecting him to act, but they seem to be aware of something much bigger than he is aware of. And what happens if you don't like your husband or wife and you're kind of like, this is kind of entertaining? I mean, like, well, this is a little bit handy.
Not what I was expecting today. So, okay, yeah. I was going to have to tell her, hey, I want to get a divorce.
Right.
Now I don't have to.
This is easier.
But, there's a passage in the book. The book alternates between first person from both of them, from Nick and Amy. And there's a part where Nick talks about how nobody in the world has any capacity to be surprised by anything because we've seen images of everything. Mm-hmm. And the sad thing is the image is always better. A picture of the Grand Canyon is always better than the Grand Canyon or whatever.
Right.
And it's like everybody is deformed so that we can't actually act in a natural way. We act the way we're accustomed to seeing people act in media, whether it be fictional or non-fictional media.
Right. He has this innate feeling that if he were witnessing the scene of an abduction, he would have like viscerally felt it. He's in the presence of it. But the reality of it isn't that. It's just your house. And your house is weird. And it's weird that the door was open. And why isn't your wife answering her phone or whatever it is? But like all those things don't equal I'm standing in an abduction scene. It's like until they go up to the dad's house and it's covered in tape, don't cross this line. He didn't even know he was at the scene of a crime the day before. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, this makes it look like the movies. Now I know bad happened here.
When he was pursuing Amy romantically, he's performing for her. Yeah. That's when he's in New York, a city full of phonies. But now he's like back home and he almost feels like he's regressed to this little kid state of other people are going to take care of everything for me.
Well, that and like, how can I put on airs when it's so laid bare how I was raised? This is my mom. This is my mom as she's dying. This is my sister. You don't really like her. This is how I look in the stuff you wear to the store in Missouri. This is how people talk. This is where I'm from. I can't pretend anything. Like if you thought Missouri was at least like some kind of fun thing in your head that you had, well, that's gone now. Now it's just this place that you don't like. Mm-hmm. He's left with no options to fake something.
With a movie and a book that are written in the social media age, but in the beginning of the social media age. I think that this ages really well because it's portending a future where we're all just under constant surveillance from everyone else. And we're living kind of a kayfabe life. We're simulating life for everyone else. Yes,
and it's before phones were overly useful to the point that the movie would have to be written completely different if you have phones now. Phones are a thing.
Yeah, but he gets a call like on his burner. You don't know it's a burner yet. You might clock like that phone seems a little out of date for 2014, but maybe not. I don't know. But that's why Fincher has such a good eye for the detail of something that you're going to notice, but maybe not think that much about. But there's a reason that it's not an iPhone.
Yeah.
But the movie opens with, everything is great about this movie. I love this movie so much. The fucking score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross is so incredible. I listen to it on Spotify all the time. And did you know, Laci? Well, wait, you were very into Marilyn Manson. I never remembered. Did you like Nine Inch Nails?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I waited for 13 hours outside of the mall for tickets and never got to go because I broke up with the boyfriend I bought the tickets with. And he got the tickets.
Oh, man.
I paid for him.
Fucking
I missed the whole day
of
school.
Transaction? That sucks. I'll take you. I want to take you.
Take me.
I'll break some Nine Inch Nails news for you here, Laci. 10-year-old Nine Inch Nails news. My whole life, Nine Inch Nails was like, it's just one person. It's just Trent Reznor. He has a live band, but in the studio, Nine Inch Nails is just Trent Reznor. As of 2016, Atticus Ross is also a member of Nine Inch Nails. How about that?
You told me that before.
Damn it.
I remember thinking, good for Trent.
I know he found a friend.
Someone in. Yeah, like he's just an unpleasable person. And either Atticus is a huge lover of being tormented or they actually work.
Yeah, they work together. They make their Nine Inch Nails and they make the movie scores.
What's the year? Then maybe he brought something a little different to the table. He must have. What's the age difference?
Let's see.
I just assume a person named Atticus is younger.
Atticus.
Or from the South. Where is Trent from?
He's from New Orleans, isn't he?
How the fuck
Or
would
he
I
lived
know?
in New Orleans. Oh, he was born in Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
I don't know this man. He looks like he's the same age as Trent. They look like the same
That is
person.
That's Trent, 61. Atticus is 58.
Okay.
So they're best friends and
friends
maybe
forever.
lovers. That's nice.
I
And
love
I watched some
that.
live videos, just this other guy on stage with them playing guitar. So what did you want to say?
Atticus, you son of a bitch. I watched the opening. It can seem like a throwaway thing. And so I watched it twice, and it's just like, wow, you can read it three ways. This is just a normal morning, and he's just looking around his neighborhood, and that's just the look on his face because that's what his face looks like. Or number two, he's checking to see if anyone noticed he was gone and bloody and weird and moving things around because he killed someone.
Oh, yeah.
Or number three, I'm about to go in there and like, today's going to be different. I'm going to ask for a divorce. This is going to be a bad day. I'm looking around this neighborhood. It did it to us. I'm looking at my house. I don't want to go in there. Like, everything's a nightmare right now. Fuck, I'll just go back in the house now.
And I'm a guy who has lived my life minimizing conflict wherever I can. I will, and I hate how much I am like this. I will just not confront things. I will just not I will put off dealing with things because I don't want to have to deal with that unpleasantness.
Does it find you anyway, Matt?
Before we get to Ben Affleck, I mean, Fincher has these shots. They're like static, rapid cuts, but it's just all of these things like the out of business liquor shop, and then bam, closed Coca-Cola plant, bam, the downtown where every single shop is vacant. There's a suburban house where there's a deer in the front yard, and it cuts really quickly, but you're just seeing all this decay, all of this like God has abandoned this place.
The deer's there.
But a deer should not be in someone's front yard.
That happens all the time in like more rural places. But yeah,
this,
I guess it's
in
out
a
of
neighborhood
place.
like this, it's like there's so few people that the deer's not even scared. It just went out there. And I know I pointed out in the history segment, but the neighborhoods where the grass is just too tall. The houses are nice, but the grass is too tall. No one lives there anymore.
New Orleans East.
It's also just something
so gray,
strange about Ben Affleck, movie star Ben Affleck, standing in front of a house that looks normal. Like, you don't belong there. What are you doing?
Well, you look bored. You look like John Hamm would look like, and you also look like what the guy from the actor from The Leftovers,
Justin Theroux.
That would be a person perfect at this. Like, maybe I did something wrong, or maybe I'm just bored with my life.
He would be a good choice because the character that he plays in The Leftovers is the like, I'm not in control. I cannot own how in control of my life I am.
He is so much this character that I thought I was going to watch him pull a pack of cigarettes from underneath a mailbox on a jog and then put them back. Like, I'm just going through the motions. My wife wanted this big house. This isn't really me living my dream. I'm depressed, and maybe I don't realize that's what I'm doing here because mental health isn't something boys are taught to reach out for.
Some people don't like David Fincher because he seems he's very cold and clinical, and the way that he shoots this movie and all of his movies these days is very digital. This movie does look very digital. I think it enhances the movie, that combined with the score.
The people are warm. Like, that's why you have a Carrie Coon.
Yeah.
You're wrong, people.
But this world is cold.
He sees it right. Yeah. It reminds me of The Killer.
So this is North Carthage, Missouri. It's a fictional town, but they filmed it in the real town of Cape Girardeau. And Gillian Flynn said, that is the town I had in mind. And then they just went and filmed there. I love the idea of them having like meetings with the Chamber of Commerce. Like, your place looks like shit. Can we film here? Can this giant production move into town and film everywhere? And they're like, yeah. It's July 5th. It's the morning of. They've got that post-July 4th blues that we all get.
Well, I love that their anniversary is just one day off from a celebratory day. Because mine was July 3rd, and it's like, that's just because that's when the Saturday was.
with your old husband, yeah. And my parents is July 4th.
Right, out of everybody.
My three favorite
they
couples.
Got it right.
Ben Affleck drives to the bar where with his cup of coffee. So many people are carrying around cups of coffee in this movie. I bet you could even do a video essay of like what the different cups of coffee mean, but we won't be doing that.
Oh.
He has his board game and he meets Carrie Coon as Go, his sister.
That's
Go, my name's Go.
Best fucking shortening of a name I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
And her shirt says "Protect your nuts." She's funny.
She's protective.
She tells her brother to fuck the shit out of his wife and smack her face with his dick. That's the kind of fun brother and sister they are. Did they say in the movies that they're twins?
A bunch of times.
Okay.
A bunch of times.
It's weird to read the book and then watch the movie back to back and then get stuck in my head. Wait, was that just in the book or was that also in the movie?
I relate very much to this brother and sister dynamic. This is me and Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, the way they talk to each other, the way they have each other's back.
Yes. And I've not been shy, ladies and gentlemen, of saying that I find Carrie Coon very fetching, and a lot of it is she reminds me of my wife. So I'm a wife guy.
Yeah, you are.
This is probably a lot of people's introduction to her, but the same year she starts in The Leftovers, my favorite TV performance ever. All right, his wife. It's the morning of their anniversary, and she's like, "Hey, your fucking wife, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's got me on this treasure hunt."
Has he gone? Clue 1 isn't even.
Yeah, but he knows that a treasure hunt is in the works, or supposedly.
Man, when you think about it, he was intending on going in there and asking for a divorce, but she's already gone. So now he has to go on a fucking treasure hunt, knowing he's going to ask for a divorce, and he's like, "Do I even go on this hunt? Like, I don't." Why?
It was worth asking for the divorce just to not have to do the fucking treasure hunt.
Right. It's like, this is so annoying. Now I have to, like, you're away because it's more fun if you can't find me not finding things or you don't see me looking.
God, I'm so grateful that Laci is not.
I don't even remember our anniversary most times.
Like, we don't buy each other Christmas gifts. Neither of us is big on ceremony.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that.
It's so performative. You can only fuck it up. I don't like calling things date night. I don't like calling things sex night. I mean, it ends up
both of those things.
It happens. It ends up happening. But like, me and you are both aware of the stigma and the pressure, and that relieves some of it. I don't like the pomp and circumstance.
Those are things that are actual things. It's our anniversary. It's Valentine's Day. Where are we going? What have you gotten me for Valentine's Day? It's our 7th anniversary. That's where you buy needles for each other.
Trent?
But Amy is giant on ceremony and gestures and has these treasure hunts that are prove to me how much you're paying attention to all of the things I say. And the thing is, early in the relationship, he was great at it. He remembered everything she said, and then he stopped paying attention.
God, like, if I'd known there was a test at the end of every year, I'd listen to you so much more. Like, this will be on the quiz.
Did you ever feel like I was doing that to you?
No, but I naturally was like absorbing everything you were saying.
I remember with my...
I knew I needed to fix me because of you.
They get a phone call at the bar from Nick's neighbor. Nick, oh, buddy, your front door is open there. And he's
Watchful
like,
Wally.
Gotta go home. Thanks, Wally.
Another well-observed thing, especially in a neighborhood that's a little less occupied than it used to be.
With a guy with nothing to do, just sits outside. Like, oh, a door's open. Good, great. I can make a phone call.
And it could be that he's old and nosy, or it could be he can't afford cable. Because
Right.
he's just in the house he paid for, but he can't afford anything in it.
Like Bill Dauterive, when he finds out that Hank's flight has been canceled on Thanksgiving, he's like, fuck yeah, I can go to the airport and pick him up. So, yeah, now we're flashing back. Amy, the first time we see Amy in the movie, we just hear her writing her diary entry, and we see her meeting Ben Affleck for the first time. I met a boy, a great, sweet, cool-ass guy. And they do their rat-a-tat-tat-tat flirting. Mm-hmm. That is extremely performative and showing how, like, smart and cultured, and it is.
You gotta wonder how many times he's staked out like the cool places to give a first kiss. He's like, oh, I know there's a sugar storm.
Right.
There's a sugar place. Come on, I gotta show you this.
Ragged and Cheese built this into the load-bearing fulcrum of their entire existence, but he could very well have done this with other girlfriends in the past, or just like saw it and thought, one day I'll take a lady there because that'd be fun.
Walked through it, licked his lips, and went,
yeah,
that's it.
He even says, I got to show you this thing. He knows about this thing.
That's what I mean. And this is the first watching where I realized he already knew about it. Not like, hey, look at that over there. It was like, got to show you this. We're right on time for the fish market. Right. And a fish flies out her face. Even her pen is performative as she's writing in her fucking diary. And look at all the options of pens she's got in front of her. She didn't need that one. Oh, she's got all these different colored pens because she's trying to make the diary look like she wrote it at different times of her life.
Yeah, and you can only notice that. Yeah, this is 7 minutes into the movie. So
right, you're like, if you want to know this, guys, here, you could know.
Why are you laying out the pens like that? Just like, I gotta have my pens arranged like this. She writes personality quizzes for a magazine, which is just an insane thing that was ever a job. But these two both have jobs that are months away from being stamped out of existence. He writes for a men's magazine. He writes for like a...
Men are about to be totally gone.
But he writes for Esquire or GQ, and their whole thing is we tell men what to wear and what to think and what movies to see and what cool stuff to say to ladies at bars.
Andrew Tate does that now. You are excused,
exactly,
Esquire.
Yeah. And yeah, I'd get paid $400,000 a year to do that.
Men used to do things to please the lady, and now they're told how to do things to just be like, fuck you, lady, but still fuck me, lady.
But that job itself is I'm telling people how to perform, how to put on a face. They're like Harry and Sally. Their jobs are insane.
Well, okay, but it's also like in The Leftovers when he's asked to pick out his outfit and then go be that thing when he's in the other realm or whatever. Like she has a job of, well, take this quiz, find out what kind of lady you are, and then go do that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
She tells him you have a very untrustworthy face. It's your chin. So he comes up with the thing, well, if I put my fingers over my chin, then you'll know I'm sincere.
Ben, did it need to be 2 fingers? Do you have to be like finger fucking your own face to remind her that she's going to get finger blasted
he knows
soon?
What he's doing. And we see the him going down on her and her stopping him and saying, I really like you.
You have a world-class vagina. You think he means the shape or the taste?
Both.
All right.
All.
Okay.
None of this is...
How do you feel about my...
World class.
All right.
The point of all of this is when you're dating, you're putting on a show, and eventually you can't put on the show anymore. You run out of energy for all of that.
Yes.
And why I think this movie is a great romance is her realizing that she actually does like the sort of dumb guy. She just wants him to try a little harder. But the dumb guy that he was brought out things in her, made her realize,
I don't have to be so uptight all the time.
In the book, she has a thing where she's talking about, and yeah, there were things I liked about it. I sometimes enjoyed the reality TV, I that. And in the middle of this list of things, she said, I stopped worrying.
Wow.
So he cured my anxiety on top of everything else.
Yeah.
In the present, Amy's not there, not anywhere in this enormous house. The coffee table's broken, the furniture is overturned, and then the police arrive.
And interestingly, like this is a professional of professional. I mean, this woman that comes, that's the lead detective, she could be from a big city for how professional and good she is at this job. And she has the most gosh darn it bumpkin ass voice. It's just interesting. Like even the most professional people in this town sound like people you don't take seriously.
Kim Dickens as Rhonda Boney.
I love her.
Detective Rhonda Boney.
I love her in everything she's in.
My favorite performance in the movie. It's great. It's so incredible because she's not like Marge from Fargo where you're like, ooh, I've underestimated this woman. You can tell she's a professional, but she is putting on a little bit of the charm. But from the beginning, she's totally giving him the benefit of the doubt.
And she's going where the clues are leading her. Yes. Yeah. And she's fighting against a more scrappy guy that's a little bit more traditional and like, nope, this fits the textbook. This is like her partner would have had him in cuffs immediately. And yeah,
her partner is the one who, when Ben Affleck says, I don't need a lawyer, he's like, good job. It tells him
he's
that.
Checking all the boxes, right?
Whereas later, Ben Affleck says, I'm not talking to you anymore without a lawyer. And Kim Dickens doesn't say anything, just picks up her stuff and leaves. She respects, okay, you don't want to talk to me anymore. Right. I'm leaving.
And even
you have that right.
When their case is solid as a rock, she's still following. I like that she's looking at the diary and being like, this is fucking weird. And like, I mean, she's ready for the twists and the turns because life is gray.
And what they always say about a murder case is if there's no body, anything can happen.
Right. Yeah. The partner really is a little too hop to it all. Because at the end of the day, this trial would have never. I mean, I can't even think of more than a handful of murders that have even been tried without a body.
The assistant, or he's not an assistant, Detective Gilpin is played by Patrick Fugit from Almost Famous. The guy who I used to be told I look a lot like. But Ben Affleck is acting very suspicious because it's not that he seems guilty. He just seems too
chill.
Like Laci said, just kind of like, it's kind of interesting.
He thinks his house has been a little bit burglarized and now he can't find his wife to let her know, who she would normally call the cops. Well, if my nosy neighbor knows something's weird and the wife's not here, I guess I should call the cops. Like he truly has no idea. Yeah. I
wouldn't call the cops.
He's in a crime. He doesn't know he's in a crime scene. He's I'm just doing step B.
I know. It would take me 36 hours to call the cops. I'd call other people first and be like, what do you think's going on here?
Please call them sooner for me. Thank you so much.
What are they going to do?
I'm a very when I'm not home within 15 minutes of when you think I should be, you're like, how's it going? What's going on over there? Not in a bad way, in a I'm very regimented way.
Well, yes, and we do the Life 360. It is so we always know where the other is.
Oh, then why are you like, hey, how's it going, buddy?
But if it is, I don't. If your Life 360 went off, if suddenly you just didn't have your phone, it would be like the apocalypse has happened.
The Life 360 is just beep.
Yeah. She notices the amazing Amy's. Your wife's amazing Amy? Yeah, let's learn about amazing Amy. She quit the cello at age 10, and then amazing Amy kept going with the cello.
That really would be fucked up if you had. There was a whole book series not written by you where your parents tell you what they wish you were, rather than just writing a book about how awesome you actually are.
Here's another detail from the novel that obviously, like, the movie doesn't have space for. Amy's parents, they're very old when they had her. They had 8 children die during pregnancy. She was not expected to make it out.
She's a miracle baby.
She's their miracle, and
she's
of
lucky.
course, yes, has to be perfect. And Ben Affleck says your parents literally plagiarized your childhood. No. They improved my childhood and sold it to the masses. But this is just the ancestor of family vloggers today.
A whole family of writers. Little Nepo baby.
It's interesting that it's both parents make the books. It's
kind of sweet.
It is sweet.
But
because they have a good marriage.
Right. But because it's like I was saying with Drop Dead Fred, there's no such thing as one good parent and one bad parent. They're either both bad together or one's negligent. And then this is the situation where they're both evil together. So Amy's got no outlet, but she's got happy parents.
They're having this party now for their latest Amazing Amy book. Amazing Amy Gets Married.
And her mom wanted her to wear a wedding dress. That's insane.
To the party. We find out later the books aren't doing well and the parents are in financial trouble. This is like a sort of desperate attempt. Like, can we bring back interest in Amazing Amy? Our Amazing Amy's old, and so it's kind of hard. So, okay, yeah, we'll monetize her life or this vision of her life. And this party presumably is attended by all of their friends from the writing world.
Yeah.
And she's sitting down being interviewed by all of them. And then Ben Affleck comes and says a bunch of fucking screwball comedy nonsense.
He proposed in the best fuck. That's brilliant. I mean, to really to the parents and save an embarrassing night. Actually put her on par with Amazing Amy for the first time.
And suddenly the night wasn't so bad. They're fingerprinting Ben Affleck at the station and taking his saliva and stuff. And
he's so chill.
This is all routine. No, let's just check all of this off the list. That way we've already done it. Okay, yeah. And we're going to hold a press conference tomorrow. And he's like, oh, wow, I feel like I'm in Law and Order. And he starts singing the Law and Order theme song.
See, and I would read this as yes, this reads totally. He seems like he has no idea what the fuck is going on here in the right way.
No, that's weird. Everyone knows what's going on.
He doesn't.
I
They're
know.
not telling
that's
him.
Why it's not fair. And that's why I also love the press conference. Because
it's like a press conference.
Yeah.
Why are Amy's parents? Or you haven't called Amy's parents. Why would I call them? We've been together all day. You and I. We're just figuring things out, right?
I know. And he says there's no signal in this station. I thought of that, but there's no signal in the station. I can't call. Well, call him, Nick.
Well, also, that really assumes the relationship with Amy and her parents are good. The relationship with him and her parents are good. There's all kind. It's not that obvious.
So what does Amy do all day?
This is the most depressing part of the movie by far. This mixed with the fact that she had to pretend to be best friends or make that stupid fucking neighbor think they were best friends. The boredom she must have endured being around Gretchen. What's her fucking name? Noelle, Gretchen, same.
I now think of that a little differently. I think she actually liked it. I think she can't admit it, but she realized, because all she does is pretend. I think she probably was happy being like a suburban housewife friends with this lady and playing with her kids and stuff.
But keeping it so laid back and at bay that she doesn't surprise her with any pop-ins, it never spills over into her house.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. So she's really having to pepper her with Ben doesn't like visitors. Is his name Ben? Nick. Fucking Ben and Gretchen. Nick, no, you really can't. I wouldn't want to upset him at dinner time. You can only imagine what she's saying, but what the fuck does Amy do all day when he can't come up with one
Well,
thing?
she's a voracious reader.
But she's been reading on how to plan a murder. But
And they say, did your wife rub people the wrong way? And he says, well, she's from New York.
I think he answers that right.
She has high standards. Type A, boy, that can make you crazy. Speaking of which, what's your wife's blood type? Now, this is my second favorite part of the movie. And it's second. My first favorite part of the movie is my favorite thing in any movie ever, maybe. That's later. But you don't know your wife's blood type? Go call the in-laws, Nick. And he steps out, the camera stays, and Patrick Fugit's like, should I know my wife's blood type? And Kim Dixon's like, no.
No, I love
it's
that.
so wonderful. Because everyone watching the movie is like, wait, really? I'm supposed to know?
I can't remember my own.
I have no idea what my blood type is. I'm supposed to know yours? I don't even know your eye color.
Okay.
It's brown, right?
It's like the one color it's not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all the other colors.
Yes. Yeah, see?
See?
You see? But it does sound like something you should know.
Matt, what does your wife do all day? I don't know. Sunroom?
She's a voracious sunroomer.
She's suns, I think.
Call Amy's parents, and he suddenly hears his dad. His very angry dad.
Well, but wait, he's being cucked by every woman in his life. The mom immediately is like, put her on the phone. Like,
I'm here with Detective Rhonda Boney.
I'm clearly not handling this right here. And then it's like, he's got more going on than you know. He might just see, like, he's also depressed. He's also trying to figure out how to make this bar actually not be a huge burden on them, since it was him that wanted it. And in the meantime, he's taking care of his dad, who was abusive growing up, and he's abusive now, but you still have to fucking take care of him when they wander away from the old folks home. And that lady's yelling at him. Or the lady at the station's like, we've been trying to get in touch with you. I'm literally right. I didn't do anything wrong, people.
There's no signal here.
But also, like, why am I in trouble with every fucking person I talk to today?
His dad is screaming misogynistic things, but he has dementia, so he's just a colorful old grandpa.
So you don't know yet, like, is this an abusive dad, or is this... Because we all understand dementia does this. Most people understand.
And so he has to drive his dad back to the nursing home, and I love how...
Barely...
He doesn't even put the car in park. Like, he gets out of it and walks his dad out.
Duck and roll, Dad.
He really does.
But you can tell it's happened more than once because the orderly's already out there to meet him. Well, thanks for picking up Runaway Frank.
Yes, this is someone who we all hated before he has dementia. Now we hate him even more that he has dementia, but we gotta fucking take care of him.
He's still alive, running around.
Back in the past, Amy is writing in her diary, everyone says marriage is a lot of work. In fact, the Oscar-winning filmmaker behind Argo said that on stage. Marriage is a lot of work. But I've not found that to be the case. It's 2 years in, we're still having so much fun. Fucking at the bookstore, buying each other cotton
Where
sheets.
Did they find... Where did that... Is it like the milk aisle? If you just go through the books, is there a fuck room?
There's like a fuck room in between the shelves. You gotta be a voracious reader to know about it.
Oh, with a world-class vagina.
In the present, Nick is fiddling with his cell phone, and we don't yet know that it's a burner. So he goes to Margot's house, Carrie Coon. And she's like, what did you say to them? Well, I told her Amy's complicated. Don't say complicated. Everyone knows complicated means bitch.
He was always going to marry Amy. Amy was always going to be Amy. He has been micromanaged and managed by his sister since they came out of the womb. And they love their mom. They miss their mom. When something hard is happening, they're both thinking about, what if mom were here? So that just tells you he's so used to this.
Yeah.
All right, Margot, what did I do wrong? But he loves it. Like, it comes from a place of love. He likes being led. It's just when you get it maliciously from the malicious duo, Gone Girl happened.
The book also makes a big deal about that. And the thing that the detective keeps saying to him is, oh, you must be the baby of the family. And he's like, I'm not the baby, I'm a twin. But then she brings it up again. Yeah, baby of the family. This sort of folksy thing people will say about birth order, but like, yeah, you're just one of these people who expects things to be done for you. Okay.
You just had a very proactive, helpful, maybe too helpful mom whose sister followed suit. What were you going to do? Also be in charge? We've all got this under control.
And then Margot says, I love this. It's so bizarre. It's the kind of thing that would happen.
Yes,
to Amy,
I love that. And which is another reason why he's affected from the very beginning in his reaction to this. It's like, it's not the craziest thing I've known to ever happen to my wife, and she's fucking fine. You know,
or
like,
it is the craziest thing, but it's not
yet.
unexpected.
It's not the craziest thing yet. Right now, she's just fucking missing. It's our anniversary. She could be doing all kinds of weird shit to me right now.
She attracts this drama. So over at Nick's house, the cops are looking over everything, and we get our first look at Noelle Hawthorne, who's like, I'm Amy's best friend. Won't you talk to me? Kim Dickens finds the first clue, marked first clue or clue 1. We have our first clue. And the next morning, Carrie Coon wakes up her brother, and he's like, I'm going to go take a shower. And she said, don't take a shower. No, you are supposed to have been up all night. You need to look like you've been up all night.
She's right. And I would have done that the whole time. I'm like, yep, I would have said that to Frankie. Yep, I would have said that to Frankie.
Oh, God.
Well, because he's like, when you have a brother who is good looking and what he uses is his charm, but underneath it is someone that's tired and has some like depression and stuff. And like, and even just a little bit further than that is like rage. Then you do have to make sure, like, I know your heart. I know you're a nice guy. I need you to turn on this part of your personality and dial back this one. Because they're so performative. Frankie's so because he can get what he wants that way. He's goddamn charming. But in a situation like this, you have to be measured.
And I'm not performative enough. I need a shower.
You would be fucked, Matt. You would be arrested day half.
Yeah. I need a shower so bad. Like two showers a day is too many, but
Matt.
one shower a day is not enough. So
No.
if you told me not to shower in the morning, I'd be like,
No.
I can't do that.
No
Sorry.
one's going to know you showered. You're not the same thing. He has a 5 o'clock shadow if he doesn't shower. You have that all the time.
That's not the point. The point is,
I'm letting you know no one's going to tell you not to
If
shower.
you told me, Matt, if you shower, you might get arrested, I'd be like, well, I got to think about this then. Because like, it would be so weird of me to go out into public without showering. It's weird for me to...
How many showers do I get in prison?
I do think about that. It's you get deodorant. How many of my prescriptions do I get? Nick goes to the police station and Amy's parents are there.
Good about that. Riddle me this.
All right.
Who's in charge of picking the picture? You know, I always think of this. What shit ass picture is going to be the one that represents me? Because I stare at this poster. I'm doing it right now. That doesn't look like Amy to me. It doesn't look like the actress.
Huh.
What is this picture?
Huh.
Incorrect.
And you do now wonder, wait, who did make this? Because the parents then start all this stuff, and we've established a tip line. But like, wouldn't the cops have done that?
No. They rely on you to give the picture because you want a recent picture that looks most like them right now. And it's like, that doesn't look like fucking anyone I've met in this movie yet. And this mom and dad are so type A. All they've had time to do is travel to Missouri, and they've already bought rights to something. They've set up a fucking vigil. They have dogs.
But what I like is that the movie takes care to show you they have a real relationship with their son-in-law. They like him a lot.
Yeah.
And they don't suspect him. And they can like fight with each other, but they like do have some love and respect for each other. This isn't like, oh, my fucking in-laws.
Well, because they haven't been suspicious of Nick ever, and they see real love in him toward their daughter. And if anyone knows their daughter, they do. They know she's performing. They know she's a lot. And he is down to earth and has made her a little bit more down. I'm sure,
palatable,
yeah.
There's a press conference. No one is prepped for him. He's just like, all right, Nick, go out there, get it done. And he's like, my wife is gone, I guess. And they're like, louder. My wife is gone. Okay. But then the parents come up and they're so polished, and they even have like, well, they get a plug-in for their books, but they have the mom. She's like, and we have established a website, www.findamazingamy.com. How does she know to talk like that? But that's how you got to do it. That's how the game is done. And then they're taking pictures, and Ben Affleck stands next to the poster, and you hear in the sound mix someone go, smile. So he smiles.
Next to leans into the poster like he's like with a cutout of his wife.
Yep.
That's Miami.
But the parents have the gravest expressions on their face.
They're, like those old fashioned like farmer pictures of our cow died. Take a picture.
Yeah, and then Carrie Coon's just off stage, just like, oh, fuck.
You fucking animal!
And that is when I really feel the Laci of like me when I interact with anyone and she has to watch. The parents are briefing the cops about Amy's history with stalkers and unsavory characters like her old boyfriend, Desi Collins. We see a picture. Oh, it's Neil Patrick Harris. Hey, he's going to be in this movie, I bet. They dated in high school, but when she broke up with him, he attempted suicide in her bed. And then he wouldn't stop stalking her, so they had to get a restraining order. And then there was this other guy, this man in New York named Tommy. And when Amy broke up with him, there were sexual assault charges. It's just very unclear. But yeah, it's just things like this. People know Amy from the books. That's what the parents are saying. They know Amy from the books, so they start stalking her. Of course.
We make her irresistible with our books.
Right.
It's not that's
She's
not
really
that
good.
you've taught your daughter to be the most performative fucking thing ever, that she knows how to exactly tune herself to whatever guy she's interacting with. And for certain kinds of guys, when you've tuned yourself to that frequency, you're going to make them insane.
Mm-hmm.
And like that, I've never known anyone like you, because there's no one like that exists.
When Ben Affleck hears about this guy, Tommy, he realizes that was just before I met her.
And he didn't know
and
about
I didn't know
right.
about this.
That's fucking weird.
That's pretty fucking weird, yeah.
That's his, I mean, I'm sure he's had a red flag or two, but that's when he's really like, wait a fuck. Why leave this out, Amy?
Oh, because just a minute earlier they said, do you know about Desi Collins? He's like, yeah, I know about Desi Collins.
No, I know. But for something like that to happen right before, it's like, you're getting rid of a pattern of some kind for me here.
So they're all walking out of the office, and then Detective Rhonda Boney says, hey, Nick, you got a minute? Which I just love. Hey, you got a minute?
I guess, sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, let's go hang out. Shows him clue 1, this clue that I found in your house. And he reads it. It's a riddle. And Ben Affleck gets the stupidest smiley face. And he says, I know this one.
Okay, but also it's like, oh my God, I have to answer a like honeymooner's game of like, do you know your wife? In front of a cop who was trying to figure out if I killed my wife. I already don't know that she has a best friend or what she does all day. And I'm infamously bad at getting these clues. And now I have to do it to either save my life or save Amy's. What the fuck? This is like you playing Mario under the thumb of our son who is just wears it all on his sleeve. I mean, is this an agony when you can't do the thing he can't do in Mario?
Yeah, so he's autistic. He will be screaming at me, and it is life or death stakes. I need to beat this level in Mario, and every mistake I make, the shrieking gets
louder.
more intense. And yes, of course, that is the first thing I thought when you just said that. Mm-hmm. Have to solve a love riddle. Clue 2, it's hidden at the junior college where he teaches part-time. I mean, things seem to be going pretty well for you, Ben Affleck, in this town. You're running a bar and you teach. You have 2 fucking jobs. But there's a pair of red panties in your mailbox at work.
And I love that no one's quite sure. They could be Amy's. They could be. I have the kind of life where these could be Amy's or these could be. What's her nose? What is her name? Andy's.
The clue says something about a brown house, and Detective Kim Dickens says, "You know about brown house?" And he says, "No idea," but he does. Mm-hmm. But it's not a brown house; it's a blue house.
He's like, "Nope, still blue."
And the alarm is going off because the code apparently has been changed. And then Kim Dickens shows right up. But we start to see he is hiding from the police.
Yeah.
And he is if he is not guilty of killing his wife, he's at least still operating in like, but I can still keep all my secrets from the police.
Well, I mean, he knows how it will look. That's what I'm telling you. He's aware the whole time. Someone having an affair with their very young student is not the person who should also be under investigation for a wife that's missing. It's bad. He knows it's bad. That's why he's checking his phone constantly and trying to like scrummage around. Like, and by now he's like, oh no, this is a setup. I need to find these clues before the cops do.
Yes. But she shows up anyway. And like, yeah, the house is, I thought maybe this would be the brown house. Nope, still blue. I'll walk you out. Okay. All right.
No, he's more flippant than that. Nope, still blue. He's such an ass. I love it.
But there is a clue here, but he hides it. He puts it in his pocket and doesn't tell the cop about it. Now, in Amy's diary, she recalls when the recession made both of them lose their jobs. And also, hey, guess what? I had $1 million in a trust fund, but my parents took up almost everything. Sorry. And he's like, you didn't tell me about that? She's like, no, you said that everything. We can always be.
She did tell him. She told him exactly when it happened, Matt. She didn't ask him for permission.
She's telling him right here.
Yes, but she didn't ask permission to share that money. That's what he's saying. She told him as soon as it was time to tell him.
You didn't ask me. That was all our money. No, it's technically my parents' money.
Right.
Because they're so deeply in debt. But, we'll get through this. Everything else is just background noise. But we cut ahead and see it's not quite true. All he does is sit at home and play video games all day and buy expensive laptops and stuff. What the fuck?
Why does he need that laptop?
But he bought this new MacBook, but it's still packaged in the box. Like, even if I didn't need a MacBook, I'd still run home and open it and, like, rub it and stuff.
Yeah, but then you open, you're like, oh yeah, it's a Mac product, so there's 4 things on it. Where's the snake? Where's Mindbender? What's it called?
Minesweeper?
Yeah.
No, you want to see that snake going through that apple. It'd be fun.
Okay.
Gets a call from his sister. Oh, bad news. Mom's died. Gotta move home to Missouri. And in the diary, Amy says, I was happy to do it. I just wish he'd asked. Nick is happy to be home, but I don't know if he's happy.
Stop using that. But why is Meryl Streep the voice?
That's kind of, she's got this upper crust. I'm a British person trying to be American
All
voice.
right, fine.
They're growing apart. He uses me for sex. And I was starting to become somebody I didn't even like, nagging him about going out with the boys. And then she even suggests that they have a baby, and he gets very angry. This is literally the worst time. And then pushes her.
Pushes her pretty bad. Because she hits a post.
But as we later find out, that
didn't happen.
This didn't happen.
But it's not that he isn't capable, because then he pushes her damn good. Yeah.
In the voiceover, she says, what scared me the most is not that he pushed me, but seeing how much he wanted to hurt me more. I am frightened of my husband. In the present, Detective Boney goes to the abandoned mall and talks to a junkie. You see an amazing Amy? He's like, oh my God, I did see this woman. She came in here asking about buying a gun.
Well, it's funny too, because like the reason why she goes to investigate the homeless situation and the drug situation is because of Nick saying she should.
That's true.
They wouldn't have even found out about the gun if they...
Yeah, and we got like a really serious homeless problem around here. And they're just like, we'll look into that.
Right, okay, buddy.
But they do.
Yeah.
You idiot. And in the diary, she says, I just felt better if I had a gun. But Nick can't leave her. She thinks Nick will never leave me because he depends on me financially. I bought him the bar. The house is in my name. And he just does not want to look like a bad guy. He's waiting me out. He wants me to ask for a divorce. They've set up a headquarters at the hotel at the Drury Inn.
I love that the mom can't even pronounce it. She's like, Drury Inn,
yeah.
something.
All these volunteers are assembling. Nick is hugging and shaking hands. He's a politician. But everyone's noticing. He seems like he's having a little bit too much fun. And I think there's a homeless guy who he gives donuts to in a bag. Yeah. I've always wondered, is that why are they making a big deal about that? I guess that's supposed to be a homeless man. And Nick is showing everybody, look, I'm still letting him have our donuts.
I guess they think he's in this moment. They're like, you're being too performative. Yeah. You're like the homecoming king. Yeah, it's like if you're a 6 foot a million man that just lost his sorry,
his girl is
there's
gone.
Not kids to put this attention on. Who cares about the parents? It's really that the parents are like, we want the attention. We set up the hotline. We wore khaki. We got here right away. We actually want Amy. Why does he get all the attention? Like they seem jealous. And that's right. Because Go is like, what's her nose is pissed.
And he goes and talks to her.
Like, you're like the homecoming king.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to do? I'm being nice to the people who are helping. Am I supposed to be like, thanks for helping, I guess.
And she says, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And a worse movie would have her be more of a
right.
just straightforward bad mother.
Right.
There's that thing with the woman who comes up to Nick, the groupie. Like, hey, Nick, are you getting a lot of food? You got to remember to eat and sleep well here tonight. I'll make you my Frito pie. And then she takes a picture with him. And then he realizes, like, oh, fuck, that was a mistake. Can you delete that photo?
I will not. Don't you touch me.
No, what is wrong with you?
That's my purse. Right.
And there's the thing, this Noelle Hawthorne is lurking in the background. She says she was your wife's best friend. You sure you don't know her? And he says that we like wave hi to her and her husband. I don't know. So that night goes to Margot's house.
All I see is giant come on me tits.
When you look at Andy. Emily Ratajkowski.
Her boobs are amazing.
Who, very famous Instagram model, this is also sort of stunt casting, is how can we cast somebody who everyone will hate this guy so much for having sex with?
Oh, all right. Godspell. Where have you been? And rehearsal. You told me to get my own life.
Yeah.
I mean, there are... There are exceptions, Andy.
But what would you do if you were in this situation? Fucking insane situation.
Right. You don't need me around. Should I even be calling your fucking phone? I don't know. I don't want to get you in trouble.
But it's still like, I'm dating this guy. He's all I think about. And now I can't even get in touch with him. And she's like, no, I miss you so much. I need you. Oh, fuck, touch me. And he's like, no, who did you tell about us? Nobody. I didn't tell anybody. And he's like, okay, I was going to get a divorce. Now I'm not going to get a divorce. Well, we'll work all this out. She says, let's just have sex one time. And then I'll go. And he's like leaning in to suck on her titties before she even finishes.
Yeah.
And they fall asleep. And so he wakes up early and shoos her out, and just the great shot of Carrie Coon.
Not chew her out. He's really sweet.
Shoo her out.
Oh.
You came to my ghost house? No.
You fucking idiot. Yeah.
You fuck. It's so great. Yes. And she is so wounded that he just didn't tell her about this.
Well, yeah, right. And like, I am trying to help you so hard with the image thing, and you just put us back behind the... She's so scared he's going to go to jail. Like, that is her best friend, and she finally got him back. He moved back. She's living her best life at the bar with him, and he's about to go away again. This is breaking her heart.
Yeah, and she keeps accepting how bad it is and then finding out it's worse and can't even be content in knowing that's as bad as it's going to get because he's probably hiding more stuff from me. I don't even know this guy.
That's not true. I don't think she thinks she doesn't know him. She's just scared.
That he is hiding things. He might be hiding more things from me.
What else did he hide, Matt? Just that he was having an affair.
The revelation later about him wanting kids and her, and the wife not wanting kids.
Okay, but that's a very normal thing to not... When you already know your in-law or your sibling or whoever doesn't like the person you're with, if the person you're with does a very unlikable thing, you leave that out of the conversation.
Which is what he says to her.
I know that.
But that is when she says, like, I feel like, that basically, like, I just can't trust you. I can't.
That's not what she says.
Yes, it is.
And that's not how she feels. She is scared. And she wants to know that everything's going to be okay. She never loses any love for her brother.
I didn't say she loses love for him. That's also the moment where she is about to ask him, did you actually kill your wife? And I would not stop loving you if you killed your wife. But it is now something I'm starting to fathom. Maybe you did kill your wife. Mm-hmm. You know, he says, I didn't tell you because if I told you, you would have made me stop. And she says, she's just so good. You're like Dad. Just so you get so much information just from her saying that. Now we get our first real look on the TV at Ellen Abbott, this Nancy Grace figure, who's talking on the TV to Tyler Perry as Tanner Bolt, the big lawyer who defends guilty men. And it's so great that this movie has such an understanding of the way the real world media looks that you can look at these two images, these two people side by side, and know exactly who each of these people are. I'm obsessed with murdered wives. I'm the guy who defends guilty husbands.
It's just like in I Love Boosters, where this in the background all the time are television or news, and it's just like concerned neighbor. Yeah. You don't need real names. You're like, oh, I know what that guy's supposed to be doing.
So it is kind of interesting that Tanner Bolt does end up being a real and good lawyer.
Oh, no, those are always real and good lawyers. The kind of lawyer that defends O.J. Simpson is an amazing fucking lawyer.
That there's usually the way it works is you got your TV personality and then your real lawyer who maybe works with them. Here, they kind of simplify it. But yes, it is.
That's not true. Johnny Cochran was a really good lawyer.
He wasn't the one on TV. He got very famous because of the trial. But they hire Robert Shapiro. He's the guy who was always on TV. She's looking at the picture of him smiling with Sean on a picture's worth 1,000 words, y'all. Isn't it? And Margot says, you need to hire Tanner Bolt.
I mean, he's just getting beat up left, right, and center. There's no rest for this guy. And now he's got a fucking vigil he didn't plan. And now he's got to go perform again. He's got to say all the right things to all the different people who want him to say different things. And he does pretty good. He says the right shit, but he really pisses off Andy. But this is where Noelle's like, you don't tell him about your pregnant wife. And that's when the cops get their clue. They should be looking into this.
I'm Amy Dunn's best friend. Where'd you put your wife, Nick? Your
dead pregnant wife.
I love this thing that he does, though. He is trying his best and he's doing a little better, but you can tell he's kind of floundering. He says, I may not always act for the cameras how they want me to act. And they criticize me, and that's okay. Criticize me all you want, but don't take it out on the people of this town. And like, some people start clapping just because it's like,
okay, thank you.
I don't know. We just know that's sort of how these things go. He says a thing, we clap. And, but it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
No. Like, I mean, what? There's news vans in y'all's way. It's longer lines to get coffee. Is that what you're taking out on this town? I don't know.
He reminds me of Chris Klein in Election, like getting up in front of the assembly and just saying some nonsense, but everybody's like, yeah,
football. But then he kind of lets go of a person a little bit more on their toes, a little more understanding of how these things work, might address what is being said by this neighbor. And so you can do it with your words and say, like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't, don't just go, okay, well, I guess we better wrap this up. It's like, okay, you look real fucking guilty right now, pretending Noelle's not screaming things.
Right. And he jogs away with the cop right by his side, and the cop puts him in the back of the cop car like he's arresting.
No, like he's helping him get the fuck out of there.
I know, but he is literally putting him in the back of a cop car. So the optics just make him look and feel more guilty. And they take him to his house, and now they have new information to share with him. This crime scene here, it looks very clearly like it was staged. Everything is just a little too perfect. Those photographs aren't knocked down. Also, there's gallons and gallons of blood in the kitchen that were cleaned up. You know anything about blood? No, I don't know anything about blood. How about how you have $200,000 in credit card debt? And he's like, what? Look at all these things you've bought. Stratocasters, giant televisions.
I like the robot dog.
And I love it. He says, this isn't me. This is identity theft. You need to investigate this.
It's a crime.
It's just a perfect dumb guy thing to say, which I too would say probably.
That would really baffle me. Yeah. It would but like, you're giving him things to be honest about. He really doesn't know about these things. I don't know. He just strikes me as honest the whole time. Like, I believe him every moment.
What about this form here, Nick? You bumped up Amy's life insurance.
She told me to do it.
She told me to. And the male cop's like, oh, easy, pal.
Oh, whoa. And then, well, I just got the call. She was pregnant. And then he just throws the glass on the ground, which is like, oh, I knew it. You were so violent. But she doesn't overreact to it. Like, she's reading him as having normal human responses to things, even if she thinks he might have done something wrong.
That's what's good about both that character and that performance by Kim Dickens, is playing a very, very specific cop. I'm good at my job. I'm suspicious of what I need to be suspicious of. I'm understanding about other things.
Right.
And he says, I'm not talking to you anymore without a lawyer. Without another word, she just picks up her stuff and walks out. Mm-hmm. And then Margot comes in later, and to show you she's a good person, she picks up their cat and pets it. And that's nice. Because I was like, is Margot a good person? I was wondering that.
She is.
And Nick is talking on the phone to Amy's parents. They're upset with what's up with the pregnancy thing? He's like, I didn't know. Look, the truth is she didn't want to have kids. And then he tells his sister that she didn't want to have kids, but he did. But they were having trouble, so they went to a fertility clinic, and he jacked off a lot of times, got his semen's frozen. That might come back up later in the movie.
Who knows?
Amy didn't do her fertility stuff. And this, now when you watch it again, you realize all of this contradicts the scene where Amy tells him that she wants a baby. That now you realize one of them is lying.
What?
That
she wants I heard you. She wants a baby after.
No,
after
this is the same time period. No.
One of them is lying. Amy is lying.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying
what
when
do you mean?
When you watch the movie for the first time, this is you may not notice it, but he is contradicting the scene earlier. Of course
you notice it. Okay, yeah, you notice it, but I guess the whole time I'm just like, that fucking lying Amy. But it's hard to take that part out of my brain.
The detectives go over to the Brown house and they're looking for the body because Patrick Fugit's like, let's just fucking arrest him. Ellen Abbott's telling us to arrest him. And she says, no, we can't. It's very hard to make a murder case without a body. Let's look for the body. This is being cut with Ben Affleck going into the woodshed behind Margot's house. She realizes.
And you don't know these are two different places. Like he very much could be going back to where they are, because I don't know it until he opens it. But yeah, he's figured out something while they're trying to figure out something.
And if you didn't know what was going to happen, it is like a horror movie, and you are like, what the fuck is he going to find in there?
Right.
And truly, it's not. It's just a bunch of purchased goods. all the stuff from the credit card
And the
statements.
Punch and Judy puppets, I'm like, oh, that's a fucked up thing to get considering their story. But it just occurred to me, there would. Duh. I know that. I knew that. But it's like, you're sticking to the fucking... It's the blunt force object that is in the fireplace. It's also the diary that's in the fireplace. And these are wooden puppets. This bitch can stick to a theme.
Mm-hmm. All of this is also
She should have given birth to a Pinocchio.
And she would know how to do it.
She'd know.
All of this is also being intercut with her in her diary, talking about sometimes I think my husband might kill me. Now we meet the real Amy.
Yeah.
Flashing back to the day she disappeared, driving on the highway, tourniquet or whatever on her arm, throwing pens out the window, walking us through her beautiful plan. Befriend a local idiot. Secretly create some money trouble. Purchase a getaway car. Americans love a pregnant woman. As if getting pregnant is so hard. You know what's hard? Faking a pregnancy.
And so she gets her to ply dumb neighbor with lemonade, collect urine.
I love that you don't hear anything that they're saying, but the woman embarrassed that she couldn't flush her piss. And it's like, it's okay. Leave the piss. It's fine, honey.
What if it had been a poop? You really had a calculation.
You really,
there.
Well, you still get what you need.
Yes.
Hey, I'm at the doctor.
Fecal matter in your pee sample, ma'am.
Yeah, that happens. I have to pee in a cup every 3 months. Sometimes I'm like, oh,
sometimes I shit in that cup.
Got a little shit there. Just a little shit on that cup there.
My pee and poo come out of the same hole. You too, right?
And then the cool girl speech. It's the very famous monologue.
Ugh. And 2 movies in a row where there's an interim bad short haircut where Drop Dead Fred's Lizzie gets her first makeover by the mom and the hair is to the shoulders and it looks kind of meh. And then there's the short haircut that happens afterward and both babes are like, wow.
Now we're cooking.
That we either need a lot longer or a lot shorter.
Laci, as a former cool girl, what are your feelings about this?
She's nailing it. Everything she's saying makes complete sense. I know exactly how it is to be that girl over and over and over again, and different versions of her too, because every guy you meet likes different things. I learned completely new bands and records and catalogs of things just to be on the same page. Now that goes away. You're the last person I did it for. And again, I did it for the same reasons, but I ended up really I always end up liking a lot of the stuff I end up getting into, but I don't ever bring my personality into anything. My personality comes out if you stick around long enough. Mm-hmm. Did you ever have to rise to somebody's standard and be a cooler guy?
I always felt that way. I always felt like I have fun, cool, interesting guy that I can be at the beginning of a relationship, and then I run out of ideas and I run out of funny things to say and I run out of fun things to do. And now the lady is starting to notice you're kind of boring. You don't do anything.
True. None of that's true.
You're quiet.
You're not. Well, I'm talkative.
And we're a perfect match.
Perfect.
She really seems to have a problem with blowjobs, though.
She blew them.
Semi-regularly. Something she had to endure.
No, she endured Hooters wings. Or
you like Hooters.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm not her.
No, you're not her. Here's what I love.
She blew him in instead of fucking him. She did the chores blowing. You're not that kind of person. You never just let me blow you and then that's the end of it. That doesn't happen with your dick. Every relationship I've ever been in before you, there's the perfunctory at least once a month, I need to give this guy a blowjob in the morning because he's so proud of how big his dick is in the morning. Like he's the first person to ever have morning wood.
That isn't tied to we then have sex?
No. No, she is talking about the chores kind of blowjob. Like, well, this will take place of sex for today. Okay. All right. That we have this understanding. Okay. Because she's having sex where she doesn't come. We already saw her. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's not me.
All right. You're right. You know what's great is my mom texted me the other day and said, hey, we're listening to your Sweet Home Alabama episode. It's great.
Well, I need to listen to it and find out what it said.
Immediately pulled up the transcript and looked through it for things.
Blowjob cum, butt stuff. Right.
All that stuff I care way less about than because later in that episode I said, my mom revealed to me in therapy once that.
Okay. Well, that says that you went to therapy. She just happened to join you.
Now we see she has her calendar full of sticky notes. She's meticulously planned out when everything is supposed to happen, including multiple times where she might kill herself. And so
always on the same poetic day.
yeah. But you think, okay, this is why Reese Witherspoon read the script and said, I want to play this character. What I really like is that you think, wow, she is the fucking smartest, and she is smart.
Right. But there's cracks.
Yes,
yeah.
everywhere.
Yes.
And they come about because she starts talking to people. She doesn't realize, I have this vulnerability, which is that I need to be around people and talk to people and be a normal human.
The vulnerability is that she's obsessed with the story of herself and that she needs to see that and interact with that. And as soon as someone's talking about it in a way she doesn't like, she wants to push back. Like, she can't help but show her cards.
Well, that's true. But so this character, Greta, played by Lola Kirk, later reveals, like, yeah, I can tell your hair is dyed and you never respond to your fake name, Nancy. And these are just things that she's noticing because she's just hanging around.
Also, though, Greta's pushed herself. I'm just saying, if it were up to her, she wouldn't be hanging out with Greta. It doesn't mean she doesn't end up enjoying putt-putt golf, but at first she's trying to just get, I've got work to do. Like, doesn't want to go get creamer at the marina. She just goes and floats in the pool, lies to her.
Yeah.
So at first it's like she's not going to want to interact.
No, but I think the putt-putt scene shows that she actually does crave this. She wants a little bit of a...
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's her weakness, is she does kind of just want to be a normal person, and that's how she's going to get found out. And it's fun to see how easily she can be taken down, which is she's just in a world that she has no idea about.
I mean, you can plan all you want, and you can think you can know Nick really, really well, and you can know how to do what looks like a typical missing person murder. But you don't know people very well. You're not a super adaptable person either. And you're book smart, and then it stops there.
So she's spending some time floating in the pool, eating junk food, doing nothing. First time she's allowed herself to do...
I don't know. It sounds like she did a whole lot of nothing as a housewife, don't you think?
But this is different.
This is different. This is just
for
like...
her.
This is like farting like no one can smell it, you know? Lounging.
And she starts to bond with this woman, Greta, over past boyfriends, and tells her in this bizarre accent, and one time I saw my ex taking out this little thing who had no business being in a bar, and recreating their sugar storm kiss outside a snowstorm in a bar. And this is when Amazing Amy started to hatch her plot. My husband is cheating on me. I shall get revenge. And even that is like... It makes her seem small. Yes. This is all just because you found out your husband cheated on you.
You only play games. You're like, well, if I can put on an appearance for my entire life to please my parents, I can use all of these skills to create a Mr. Murder moment. And I can get away with it too, as long as I end up dead.
Yeah.
It's when she ends up not wanting to be dead that things get a little tricky.
Mm-hmm.
But she figures it out.
Yeah, she does. She does figure it out. And I like that the reason she decides she doesn't want to be dead is just having too much fun.
Well, that and... My husband's kind of hot again, y'all. He's kind of doing exactly what I wanted him to do.
And that's fun. Nick, back in the Nick storyline, finds all the stuff in the woodshed and brings Margot over. Look at all this stuff. See, you didn't believe me, but I was telling the truth. And she's like, I'm so sorry for not believing you. In the centerpiece of all of this is a Punch and Judy doll made of wood.
Set of dolls. One is Punch and one is Judy.
Okay. I don't know what these are.
These are very, there's like the most famous puppets.
So the guy's name is Punch?
And she's Judy, and he kills her and the baby, I think.
That's fun.
It's from like ye old times. This is like shit to do in the street. Like the storyline for her is so sad that she's got a permanent frown. Look at her. She never even needs to smile.
Yeah. Things were just different back then. That's just, but we can't judge them.
Back when we had a king. Yeah.
That's how people did things though.
You kill a bitch.
And in the letter, it says you're going to be sent up the river to the death penalty penitentiary. Because Missouri has the death penalty. But Nick is like, I got to take some action. I got to go to New York City and hire Tanner Bolt, Tyler Perry.
He's a breath of fresh air. As soon as he's in the room, I feel like everything's going to be fine.
That's what I wrote down. Such a sense of comfort here.
He's just got such an ease. He's like, go. He takes things that that Nick says and makes them like, that's a cinch, no problem. Where Go also does that when things are lower stake.
Yeah. And he also has that trademark cup of coffee that everyone has in this movie. And for some reason, them sitting down in the lobby of this building rather than taking him up to his office also makes it seem more comforting. Like, just chatting here. It's
right.
fun.
I'm not here to lure you in or to trap you into anything. You came to see me, and I'm saying yes.
You came to see me, but also I've been expecting your call. Been waiting. Why hasn't he called me yet? And here you are, you son of a bitch. Hey, and I'll even give you a special discount because your wife sounds crazy as fuck. The real work we have to do, Nick, is this is PR. People hate you. They like Amy. Let's get them to not like Amy and like you more.
She's not just telling a good story. She's telling a perfect story. So we have to tell a good story back. We have to undo her perfection in the eyes of the media.
So we need to find those people from her past who don't like her. Is there anyone? Well, I just found out about this guy who 2 weeks before I started dating her, had sexual assault charges. Let me go track him down. And he does. And this guy's played by Scoot McNairy.
Who I love.
And he's like, I didn't do anything to her. She raised a false rape allegation against me. We went out and I found out she was very, very intense.
Well, and then she made him a project. She molded the exact same thing that she says about him in her monologue, right? Like, I forged the man of my dreams. That's what she was trying to do with him, too. She took him on as an entire project. And it just got exhausting.
He says, girls like a fixer-upper, but Amy, she annexed me. Mm-hmm. I love that. But it is funny. He's a different version of Nick, who's just like, oh, I don't like this. I don't want to be your project. And got out very, very early, but found you do not exit this. No, sir.
Right. And he got away with being a predator for the rest of his life. And Nick's about to become a murderer.
And he says...
And Desi got out by surviving him killing himself.
Right. Which he didn't do. The movie doesn't make clear, but in the book, that's a lie.
That's a made-up story?
Yeah.
So all he had to endure was claims of him being pathetic? And also having a mental illness. I mean, the stalking pathetic.
Yeah, because I don't know how many people she told that to. It seems like it may just be something she told her parents.
And him. And her husband.
Yeah.
But she kept
in terms
up
of like
the pen pal stuff.
Yeah, and that it wasn't one-sided. They did write back to each other.
Yeah.
That's in the book. I don't remember if that's spelled out.
Maybe Desi is as close as she got until Nick. And she realized, oh, I need someone cool.
Mm-hmm. And Scoot McNairy says, but then I saw her on TV the other day and I thought, there she is. She's graduated from being raped to being murdered. Greta and Amy are watching the Ellen Abbott show, and you get to see what maybe not everybody loves Amy, because Greta, the first non-middle-class person we see, says she seems like a spoiled rich bitch to me. And so Amy spits in her drink without knowing.
It's fucking nasty. And she takes the biggest sip of it and goes, yeah, that's good.
I know. Hell yeah. Fucking love Gatorade.
It's not Gatorade, it's Mountain Dew, which is, well, that's a big difference. It is a class comment. Only white trash drink Mountain Dew. That's the stereotype.
At the airport, at the same time as Greta and Amy are watching, Nick is watching Ellen Abbott, and so are other people in the airport lounge. And they're talking about Nick and his twin sister, and you hear these guys say, twin sis, you know what I mean?
Like, people just don't have anything to talk about. You know, like, what are you going to do? It's on 24/7. You got to just make little fucking comments.
But Amy's having a little fun. She's getting to see what the world thinks of her and thinks of her stupid husband. And so she takes off the Post-it notes from her calendar that say kill self. I think I'll stick around a while longer. Back at home, Tanner Bolt arrives in Missouri, and he and Nick and Margot go over their strategy, which is we got to solve Amy's treasure hunt.
Rom-com and me just kept waiting for Margot and him to fall in love. I'm waiting. It never happens. I wouldn't make the movie better. It's just like, they got something.
On a streaming series, 10 episodes. Yeah, you
get
there. They have a drunken night at a party. You spend 30 minutes just watching.
And then he goes back to New York and she stays in Missouri, and all of a sudden he's having a cup of coffee and you just see gummy bears flying at his face. And it's Margot from across the room.
Oh, hey, Tanner. Oh, and finally he chomps one in his mouth. And that's how you know. Amy, she's she's Old Testament God. She's a God of wrath, a God of punishment, a God of justice. What this treasure hunt is, on the surface, it looks like a history of our romance, but actually it's every place that she knows I fucked this girl, Andy. And they're like, boy, that's gross.
Well, in the same way that this journey reveals Amy for being not as smart as you might think she is, and in fact, just being an expert of Nick, maybe not an expert of the world, this journey also shows how capable Nick is, in that he's got Tanner Bolt telling him what to do. And he goes, okay, here, I know better. And he wants to still do that interview after, that's coming up. And he fucking nails it. And because why? Because he had the confidence, because he was only talking to one person.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't trying to make the world love him. He was just trying to reach Amy. He's an Amy expert. So it's like when they lean into their expertise, they both rise to the challenge.
In fact, maybe shouldn't have to pay all that $100,000 to Tanner. Because what does Tanner even do?
He did go to Missouri.
He flew. That's true.
He had air travel. Mm-hmm.
The thing that they have to do is this whole thing with Andy and the affair. That's going to go public. And Ben Affleck's like, no. She's not going to do that. She's a good girl. She's not going to do that. And he's
good person.
So confident. Like, no. I know how this works. This is going to come out. And I love that it's just, that does indeed happen. She goes public because that's the law of these things. She's going to turn on you. And so they need to get ahead of it. And other than that, the best thing we can do is find Amy ourselves. So we have PIs on the case. Otherwise, we got to solve this treasure hunt. And also, hey, there's this journalist who works for a TV broadcast network, Sharon Schreiber. She gets 10 million eyeballs on her. Wow, she's a credible journalist.
That's what
unlike
we're
that
paying
Ellen
Tanner
Abbott.
Bolt for, is that he knows how to work the media, the narrative. All it is who's got the better story. That's all a jury trial is. So, I mean, I think they owe him some money. He's got connections.
They owe him some money. And again,
Okay.
if it went to trial, yes, then you would get your money's worth. Sharon Schreiber, if you reach her, all the eyeballs will be on you. And he says, I only need one eyeball on me, just one eyeball. She can have the other one closed. So she's made great friends with Greta and this guy played by Boyd Holbrook. I don't remember the character's name. They're playing golf. She's now doing normie things like playing putt-putt golf and seems to be enjoying herself. Oh, I went ahead and got the hole-in-one, I did. Oh, no, my money clip slipped out of my leg. And
her fanny pack, she revealed her stripper stash. And then this guy's such a loser that he knows both places you would strip if you were really from New Orleans, the swamp room and the treasure chest. He's like, which one of these two? Neither of those things are actually strip clubs, but it's like, what am I supposed to learn from this nasty man that he knows the names of all the strip clubs up and down the Mississippi?
And that and Greta seems to be on his side and sort of, yeah, honey pie, you got a whole lot of money there. We were just teasing you.
Well, yeah, because she's not friends with her, and she's been sniffing her out from the beginning. She knows that this woman's hiding something, and this lady, she's got to make ends meet. She's looking for a mark.
Mm-hmm. And they come by and rob her later. And I like that they tell her, like, no, you're lucky. We could be so much more evil.
Right. We're just taking your money.
We're just taking your money. It's fine.
And you had it to begin with, so you'll find more. And
Count
they
your
were
blessings.
right.
You'll be
they
okay.
Were fucking right. She barely had to go through any trauma. All she had to do was need more money.
Yep.
Which, by the way, you were always going to. In fact, they steered you into the right direction. You should be thanking them. They gave you your fucking way out of this shit.
But she does spend like 24 hours truly adrift. She sleeps in her car and a security guy comes and flashes a light in her and she drives away immediately.
Yeah,
but if
they take her fingerprint, she's found out.
Yeah. But this is truly the only time in her life where she's actually been helpless.
Mm-hmm.
And so she does the only thing she can. She calls Desi. Gross. Nick is getting prepped for the interview with Sharon. They throw gummy bears at him every time he's being smug or a dick or not enough of a dick. But before they can get to the interview, the news breaks. Local slut having sex with Nick. Oh,
she
God.
looks like a fucking Mennonite. Where are her giant come on me tits now?
Yep. Goes on stage dressed so wholesomely, and Amy's parents are standing behind her. And then they take their turn at the podium. We loved Nick like a son. That love ended today.
Jesus. Fickle. That's how you love your son?
And so Tanner's like, well, fuck, we can't do this interview now. And Ben Affleck's like, no.
And that's because everyone around them are playing the rule book. Well, here's the rule book for whenever this looks like this and this looks like this. And then the young cop, this is the rule book. This looks like this, so this is this. There's no playbook, baby. You don't know Nick and Amy. Nick and Amy, no Nick and Amy.
And we cut ahead and see how well He knew it. How well
I'm so glad we didn't watch it.
So fucking good.
I love
Nick.
the way they do it because you need relief, right?
Yeah.
This movie knows when you need and
You're
then
right.
we get to see it at just the right time. We get to see it through her eyes. Like a lesser movie would have showed you it happening in real time, and then Amy's reaction and Go's reaction over here, and the Tanner's reaction all at the same time. But this is just like, we know it goes good, and now we know to expect whatever it is he says, it's good. I don't even need to think about it, right?
You're right. Yeah.
Like,
tension alleviated.
Yes.
Okay, he nailed it.
right. Now
I can't wait to see it.
Now I can fully focus on the interaction between Desi and Amy, because that is what we're meant to see. We're meant to see how much all this is doing to her, which would have been very distracting if we were cutting between a lot of things. And Desi is highly in tune to him losing. Like he's the easiest person to like get one over, but he's also like super vigilant and like noticing everything. Oh, he's good at putting me. I mean, just being a fucking boner killer. He's got so much money. He's got so much culture. He's very good looking, and he's just a fucking twat immediately. And so obsessed with the way she looks, with her appearance, he wants the version of her he couldn't have, not this new thing, not this real thing. I want amazing Amy.
He's doing the exact same thing.
Go back to yourself, right?
And
there's the gym.
Yeah, and you can use the gym that's above the garage or whatever.
The sooner you get back to being yourself, the better. Like, bitch, you don't know me. No one does. I'm hamster head.
One more thing about the interview. It's nice that this movie is so rooted in the world of how media really works. You're used to seeing in a movie. They did the interview. This obviously will just go out live. But no, that's not how it works.
Right.
Yeah, these things are pre-taped and edited and stuff. Yeah. I love that she meets Desi at the Riverboat Casino. And what she tells him is...
She's got a little pile of quarters left. She's playing in them.
I had to leave Nick because he said he'd kill me, so I had to fake my death. Or I told Nick I was going to leave him. He said, if you leave me, I'll kill you. So I faked my death. And he says, I'll protect you, Amy.
With me now.
And she says, knowing you were out there was the only thing that kept me going the past few years.
And this actress, she did do all these scenes with cotton balls in her mouth, right? Like The Godfather. That's how they made her look like she'd gained weight. She just said, that's why she's talking like this. She's just got cotton balls back here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I mean, it makes a huge difference.
Okay, the book makes a bigger deal about how she's changed her appearance by gaining 10 pounds but wearing baggy clothes so no one would notice. She didn't let herself get her picture taken for months because she wanted the picture that got sent out to not look like her. So that tracks with what you said earlier. Although that picture that they have does not look like Rosamund Pike at all. But
it looks like a fucking pageant person.
Yeah. All of that stuff is it's just the super fun vicarious thrill of reading about the perfect crime. Of course, you'd gain weight, but not that much weight. That way, yeah. So they're gonna go to his lake house, which she gets into, and turns out it's a dungeon of surveillance.
Oh, okay. But it's got the best bed.
Well, you'll never have a better night's sleep. But this does remind me kind of Stellan Skarsgård's house at the end of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Because of the big, and in Ex Machina, right? This idea of like that this is entirely open, huge window into anyone can see into here, and yet I'm completely secluded and the most fucked up things are going to happen to me. But you get this feeling of like everyone can see it and no one cares. And
there are parts of the lake house segments that feel so much, that are shot like a horror movie, that are edited like a horror movie, and it was just interesting if you watch those two David Fincher movies back to back of like stumbling upon a version of hell I wasn't expecting. I was thinking I was escaping danger, and I've entered so much more danger.
That's what he's so brilliant at, right? Like showing you the McMansion, the cookie cutter suburban home in the nice neighborhood, and it's a gloomy day. He's in gray sweats. This is how the movie opens. You're depressed. He has to go back into that beautiful house because you just in that one shot, you understand like it is not about that house. It's about what you're bringing into it. It's about where you are in your brain while you're there, and none of this matters unless other things are good. And they just show the uselessness of wealth and how fleeting it is, and the uselessness of beauty if you don't have a good personality or like get along well. Two gorgeous people seem like they should be around or should be together, and they fucking hate each other.
And he's this
it's just all artifice.
wealthy socialite who's devoted 20 years of his life to obsessing over this woman.
Right. For what? You run an amazingly successful company that I don't understand, but you do go to work every day and you've got all these homes and you're so young looking and you've done nothing. She's gave you such an illusion, such an artifice, which is what you wanted, but she gave it to you perfectly tuned into what Desi likes. She's kind of a monster. She creates the ideal woman for these three men because she's just got this skill and makes them crazy for it. So either you have to ride it out and get sick of her and that's the only way to get past it, or you become Desi and you're stuck in it forever. And then when she turns the dial a little bit because she hasn't totally tuned it to your liking, the floor being heated and all that, then you're like, no, I didn't do all this and build this shrine of amazingness for you to look like that.
Sorry to keep bringing up the book. I really like this passage
sorry.
from the book when they reunites and she's talking about how she had to sell her story to Desi. Here's what she said, quote, "My savior, my story would satisfy Desi's craving for ruined women. I was now the most damaged of them all. Long ago, back in boarding school, I'd told him about my father's nightly visits to my bedroom, me in a roughly pink nightgown staring at the ceiling until he was done. Desi has loved me ever since the lie. I know he pictures making love to me, how gentle and reassuring he would be as he plunged into me, stroking my hair. I know he pictures me crying softly as I give myself to him."
See, she's just so in tune.
That he so badly wants a damaged woman who he can be good and gentle with.
Right, because he's got no ability to be like a burly, typical brooding man.
And when he's
a small man.
And when she tries to be a little aggressive with him, I mean, I know she's about to kill him, but she's like the hottest anyone's ever been in a movie. And he's like, wait, whoa, slow down there, pancake.
Butternut squash.
Look, I'm sorry. I find her so sexy in the last part of the movie.
Okay. Like, because she's going to kill him?
I like her haircut. And I don't know what it is.
You like her covered in blood.
And I like her covered in blood. And
well, I'm trying to grow my hair out long, so this is a fucked up time to tell me you like her haircut.
No, I really like your hair right now, though. The way it is.
I'm cutting it.
No longer than it is now, though. So stop it. Freeze it right where it is. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're both big fans of your long hair.
Okay. We'll go way back.
No, it's not the hair. It's when she's like, I'm the cunt you married.
Oh, yeah. She's totally in control. She takes the sexiest shower anyone's ever taken. Yeah, when she's telling him what to do and she's telling him to get naked and she's washing blood off herself and she's like,
yeah. If you told me you need to see if I'm wearing a wire, I'd just come right there. I don't know why.
Check me. It's an anal wire.
So everyone's watching the interview at the same time, including Amy watching with Desi. We'll watch it together as we eat this creme fraiche or whatever this is.
Yeah. And she's eating a small amount of food, but because she's eating and watching TV while Desi gives her side eye, like you just know the mom must have given her whole life. Are you sure you're gonna eat that? Like I just like she's never looked more pathetic, and he's never looked more sinister. It's
and she's
perfect.
Leaning forward. Oh my god,
like a child. She's very every time she's indulging herself in this narrative and what she's created, she's like a kid.
Yeah, she's eating Kit Kat bars and
she's like she
donuts.
Literally goes out the house and clicks her heels together. She's so happy.
I'm always seeing kids do that.
Well, it's like, gee gosh, she's never got to be a normal kid. She's like, I think I'm doing kid things. Putt.
Nick says,
she's trying. They're just flirting on this putt date. And she's like, is anyone keeping score? Like, she can't help herself. Yeah. She's like, I got to win at this though, right? I'm not supposed to have too good of a time.
Nick is on the TV and he's like, look, I didn't murder my wife, but I'm not a good guy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a bad guy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck. I was a con artist. I was a mediocre guy who met a woman who dazzled me. So I pretended to be better than I was. But I failed her. Instead of doing what was right, I did what was easy. And then he looks into the camera and he says, Amy, if you're out there, just know I've taken myself to the woodshed over this. Over the way I've treated you.
Right. So I
know
know the con you're doing, and I still want you back.
And says, I love you. With his fingers over his little asshole chin. And the public response is, we love him. He's doing great.
We love you.
Yes. Because there's a law to these things. These things have to go that way. We treat you like shit. We tear you down. Then we want to see you come back up.
Well, yeah, that's how you keep the narrative going. What else are we going to put on TV?
I remember when Tiger Woods first started to have his issues, and then he did a big press conference. It was like, I have failed in my marriage.
Like, how sad is everybody that OJ never had his redemption arc?
Oh my God.
They were probably all waiting.
They were
for
working
that.
on it. Yeah.
Yes. And like, he just couldn't help himself. He just reveled in the fact that he got away with murder, and he couldn't stop reminding everybody, like, we're trying to give you your arc, OJ.
They were trying. Like, he's really fun on Twitter. His videos are funny.
Yes. And then he goes and does these weird fucking reality show things, like, you just got juiced. It's so bizarre.
But Tiger Woods is talking about, I failed in my marriage, and the response was like, oh God, I didn't want to hear that. Why did I think I wanted this?
This and Dumb and Dumberer. I didn't want it.
But as all of this is happening, the cops go to Margot's house, serve her with a search warrant, find all the stuff in the woodshed. Boney is really mad at Ben Affleck. Nick, I've treated you more than fair. Every time you said something stupid, I told myself, he's just stupid. But no.
You're evil and stupid.
So, Margot, you're under arrest too. And back at the lake house, Desi is mad that Amy has eaten a second bowl of whatever this is and tells her, it's time you move on. And she's like,
right. Now we've watched the program. Tut.
Time for something else.
But like the movie, I get mad at the movie for thinking it's just a couple of days. It is a month. Like, time does go by. She is there weeks. After this,
it jumps ahead a few weeks.
Yes. I'm like, how the fuck? Did she hit the gym once and looks like this? What?
Yeah.
How? And who cut her hair? She did. She expertly cut her hair twice and dyed it. I'll have you know, you don't get a box of hair dye and make it go blonde again. That's not possible. It has to be bleached and treated and lifted. It has to slowly go back to blonde. Blonde is hard as fucking color to have.
I bet he's great.
Because it's a lack of color. No, she did it. She's fucking amazing Amy with a goddamn box of blondes.
Yeah, but he probably would be good at that. He's kind of like a Tony Hale character. And not just because Neil Patrick Harris, the actor, is gay. But that's why this casting is inspired, and because Neil Patrick Harris is good at playing unsettling people.
Yes, well, yeah. Series of fortunate events.
So I love this performance. It's time to move on. She's like, I just need some time to think. And he says, that's the last thing.
Right.
At the station, they reveal to Ben Affleck, we found the murder weapon. It's the other Punch and Judy thing. He's like, I don't know about that. And they're like, no. You're officially arrested.
I love how anticlimactic this is, because this is so realistic. They're there for like a night or whatever, and they get bailed out. And he's like, well, what now? Well, now you're out on bail. And now we get to like fucking work toward figuring out what we're going to say at trial. Like, no, this isn't fancy. This isn't a big relief that you're out. It's just because you have money. You get to now work on your strategy at your home, instead of in jail.
The timeline suggests he was in jail for a few weeks, because it's now 21 days later, and then he gets out of jail.
How did he make bail?
That Tanner must have spent that time trying to convince a judge to issue bail. It seems like it's the next day in the editing. This is the only thing where the editing doesn't feel like it makes
you're
sense.
right, because he's wearing like jail stuff.
He's wearing his own clothes
when he comes out, which is normal. When you go in, you're wearing your own clothes. But like when he's on camera, or like you can see him in the jail cell, he is wearing court issued stuff, and you only get that once you're like there for a couple nights.
And Amy, now her hair is shorter, and she's been simulating a happy life with him, doing the same thing she always does. And he's like, you're not bored with me? And she says, how could I be bored? You can talk about 18th century symphonies. Nick's idea of fun is a reality TV marathon with his hands down his pants.
One hand down his boxers. Bring it. That sounds fucking awesome.
And so he's about to leave for the day, and she makes very clear to him, when you return tonight, we're going to Bone Town, baby.
She already bites him, and he's already thrown off by that, but that's just brilliant. And then she just fucks up his hair and pulls out his shirt, and he looks at her like she's fucking insane. That's how the kids are wearing it.
Yeah. It's hot. He can't handle it. He cannot handle it.
But she knows he's going to go right in front of that camera and like wipe blood off his lip and like adjust his outfit and like and look perplexed.
And so now she has to pretend she spills some wine on her clothes and then, cowers in front of the camera. And it's good because you see it from the camera's perspective. I think you see it from outside the door. And then you cut inside and realize she's not making any noises. She's not even, wouldn't you at least scream?
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't even need to scream. I'll just lip sync this.
Her crazy fucking monkey crawl to the door, though. It's so Exorcist movie because she's like, because she needs her handprints right where they are and stuff. But it's like, but they're going to find these prints and these are wine. This is wine on the ground, Amy. You didn't put any blood over here. I guess you could add it later. But like, I understand that just for the look, it's okay because this is just a look. But they're going to find that nightgown. It's got wine on it. They're going to see the handprints in real life unless you cleaned your own handprints for some fucking reason.
Yeah, the unwanted Gone Girl season 2 is we don't have a book to go by, so we'll deal with the aftermath of that,
and
of the investigation into Desi.
It's called Hey Girl.
Hey Girl.
It's like, welcome back, girl.
Hey with 3 Ys. That's how she cuts his throat that night when they're having sex.
It's the most confident throat slitting. Like, you can't, he's even confused. Well, of course he'd be confused, but like, She does it in such one motion and flings it. It lands under a pillow across the room. So she was totally sure she got all the way through. Didn't need that anymore.
Yeah. She
and let him finish. Like, she knew how long. She knew how long it took him to climax. So she just timed it. I'll bet it was a great orgasm though. With all the blood
best,
coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
What a way to go.
What a way to go. That's why they say that expression. Oh, and we forgot she stuck a wine bottle up her ass.
I always thought it was in her vag because
one would think,
but yeah, really got in there.
But it's as we see when she interacts with the FBI, it's almost like this crime. No one's going to look at this crime because everyone thinks this is such a good story.
And
we don't need to look at this.
They leave her in the blood until she gets home because she's a crime scene. Mm-hmm. But she can go home and wash it off. They need to put her in yellow tape.
No, at that point, it's no longer. It's just
they've already done the right.
We just like that it's on you,
right? They're like, let her go home, and she likes it.
It's that thing about like why do women wear lipstick? Because it makes them look.
No, I tell you what happened. They probably offered to start wiping it off of her, and she's like,
"Yeah,
I'd rather take a shower in my own home
if
that's okay." Because she wants that photo op of her coming out in her gown, and then.
No, you nailed it. Yeah. So Ben Affleck wakes up in his own home, hears a ruckus outside, goes outside. This is my favorite moment maybe in any movie ever. It's like between this and the Indianapolis speech in Jaws with Robert Shaw. Okay. It's fucking Amy in a car, getting out covered in blood, the press
staggering out
on her.
But walk with me here. This outfit does not make sense. That's not where the blood went on her neck like that. And she wasn't wearing a dress. She was in a negligee. This isn't the outfit. Where did this blood come?
She put this on. I don't know. She wiped up the blood from the floor.
Yes.
I don't know. Yes, of course. And then she just, as dramatically as possible, collapses in Ben Affleck's arms. But first he mutters, "You fucking bitch.
You crazy fucking bitch."
And the cameras are going fucking nuts. I just like this. This is movies. This is what they're all about. There's nothing like this. It's sublime perfection. The way it's shot. The whole movie feels like you're dead and in the afterlife. And this whole section now, which is my favorite part of the movie, is the last like 25 minutes because
like what
in some ways it's like the narrative's over.
Yeah, this is where this would end for us on at home watching from home.
He did it. He's
done it.
Yes. But this is I think the best part of the movie, and it feels like you're in the afterlife. And
you're like, wait, are they gonna really put her in jail? She really went to a lot of trouble to make this all go away. Yeah. I'm kind of rooting for her and him at the same time. Like I don't know. I go back and forth.
I root for them. I want them to make it.
But I feel for Go. That's why I think she should end up with Tanner.
With Tanner, yes.
Or at least that nice lady cop.
Or, yeah, because she said, she and her ex, all they did was exchange cards. She needs something a little fun, a little something fiery. Carrie Coon.
I'd get in that Carrie Coon. I'd get all up in there.
The FBI is interviewing her. They're taking over because I guess this crossed state lines, and they've marginalized Boney, and they're just eating this slop up. They're like, then what happened?
It's a bunch of men. It's a bunch of men all looking at this beautiful woman telling this. All they have consumed is what was on TV. They've been spoon fed that Nancy Grace woman version of events. It's all it is a movie to them, and now they're just sitting there with popcorn, like she's telling them the fucking ending. They're not investigating at all.
That's a great point because earlier you have the Patrick Fugit character like referring to the TV like this is the authority, and like it's now everything we know about the way the government operates, the way that That is how it works. Everybody's just watching TV
Yes,
and getting their cues from the television.
Well, and the only person that's been in there from before TV was happening and saw the narrative form and sheltered herself from it is Boney. And she's being completely boxed out. And Amy knows that's the way to go because Boney's the only one that's going to figure this out. So she fucking just completely undermines her and trash talks her in front of the FBI, and to the point that she's just like, fuck this.
She's telling her story and Boney interrupts. Just one question. Why did you want to buy the gun? And she's like, I'd really like to return to when I was in Desi's captivity. And all the FBI guys are like, oh, come on, local cop.
Right.
Let her tell her story.
Like, not only is she just a poor little local cop, but she's a woman. Like, because she doesn't even have her partner in there with her. Or she might, I don't know.
No,
but
he's off talking to Ben Affleck, and he's like, stabbed her with a box cutter. He's like, where did she get a fucking box cutter if she was being held prisoner? And he's like, hey, buddy, just be glad to have your wife home.
She's Jodie Foster, like, fighting for her life with these other tall FBI guys, just trying to get a question in edgewise. She had no fucking chance.
Now,
and because of the way cops and jurisdictions work, she's still kind of there for the plot, like the way the kids say it today. I'm here for the plot. But she knows she can't do anything. But I like that they're still in touch. You know, like they need to, like, they just went through something. They need to, like, debrief.
And it's nice that Affleck goes up to her and says, what, we're pals again? She said, yeah, now that I know you didn't kill your wife.
Right.
Because she does like him. She always liked him. Nothing personal. Truly, man, it was nothing personal against you. I just thought you killed your wife.
Go where the clothes
and
go.
That goes against my values, is killing wives.
I like to think she visits the bar. I like to think her and Go are good.
Go, are we good? We're good. I love this. Tyler Perry then goes out to the gaggle of reporters and he's like, we want to thank God for this
miracle on the Mississippi
that he branded it.
And then it's in the papers. You see it later.
That's why he gets paid.
I'm telling you.
They go home and Amy makes them pose for the cameras. And they go inside. He's like, you can stop pretending now.
Please tell me the fucking still shot you're going to put on here is the side of his dick.
I'm so sorry, love. I was running out of time. I do not have that many graphics. I wanted to get frame by frame of his dick because there's controversy on the internet about whether that's actually his dick or a prosthetic.
I mean, it's pretty fucking generous.
Yeah.
If it's his dick. But you know, with a dick that size, it is a shower, not a grower. All it does is fill with blood, and it's the same size that it is as an erection. It's not like it's like 20 feet long. Who could use it?
Yeah, it's not a boyfriend dick.
Is he going to fucking snake the toilet with it?
Yeah, it goes around. It goes.
I don't mean it snakes. I mean, like, what do you...
Oh,
what do you do with something that tall?
Yeah, if you clog, you just...
You're going to kill every girl that tries to get on it. No wonder she does intermittent fucking blowjobs or whatever.
You can stop pretending now. I'm not pretending. The Nick on TV, that's the Nick I fell in love with. He's like, but don't you know everything I said on TV was fake. I was just telling you what you wanted to hear. You need to tell me exactly what happened. And she's like, no, not until I know you're not wearing a wire. Get naked and get in the shower with me. And he's like, God damn it. And then his 20-foot dick comes out. And she explains, you're not going to leave. You're going to look like the bad guy and you can't handle that. Plus, you know what I did? I killed the greatest man who ever lived, Desi Collins, to get home to you. So he's like, okay, well, I will just bide my time. I can be patient, but she can also be patient. He can be trained and molded and then he will return to me. And also I'll impregnate myself and we'll get a baby. And this is also a very fascinating part of the movie where now the whole story now is we thought he was a murderer. He's not, but he did cheat on her. And because we paid really close attention, now we feel like we have a right as a public to know, how's it going now? How you guys getting along? You getting along well? Yeah, you going to have a baby? You should have a baby.
I love his kiss on the cheek. It's like a fucking flick in the face.
He does not make contact.
Yeah, but the way he does it isn't even a kiss. He just knows it needs to sound like a kiss.
Yeah.
It's all act.
But I remember you saying once that like there's the idea of couples not fighting in public, which I think is a good thing. You should not fight in front of other people. But you did. It was a good point you made about like that is a way that you can like hide like really abusive things happening in marriages. If
you're the couple that never fights in public, you mean? Yeah, because you're That's what you mean, right?
Right.
There's something wrong if you guys never let things crack in front of people. It's too contained. It's too measured. It's too dangerous to let it out.
It was more like the social norm of keep that of if you're in a couple, don't fight in public. That does benefit an abusive partner.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now I remember what you're saying.
And so there is a way in which maybe it would be healthier if we were a little more invested in each other's relationships, but we take it way too far. And we're like, we are the third member of the Dunn family marriage, and we get to know everything that's going on with them. It's just so weird, this section, as he's like simultaneously trying to appease her but try to figure out how he can make it work. And Tanner, who's leaving town, he's like, the case is over. This fucking woman's crazy. But look at it. You got a book deal, a Lifetime movie, and you're franchising the bar. You should thank her.
He didn't say that. He said you should franchise the bar. He didn't say they are.
Well, he can. A financial windfall has come his way. He can buy so many laptops and Fender Strats. Monetize your trauma. That's what we have to do. That's the only future we have.
This feels like a movie. And it was.
5 weeks pass by, and Amy's like, listen, you're doing great, but I'm going to need you to try a little harder, play your part a little better, and I need you to own all this shit you did. You cheated on me. You abused me physically. No, I didn't. And you spent all that money frivolously. Like, no, I didn't. Too bad. You have to tell everybody that you did do that stuff. So Ellen Abbott comes to their home. They're going to do a big sit down in their home. And Amy, before they go do the interview, reveals she has gotten pregnant via his frozen semen. Mm-hmm. And now I know, because you will not want to be the bad guy and you will be invested in a child who doesn't hate you.
She continues telling the perfect story, right? That's why Taylor's like, I'm fucking out. Tanner. He's like, this is just going to go and go. Whatever Amy wants at this point, that girl gone. Like, this is just going to be Amy's show. She knows she's playing it like a fiddle. She's doing it just in time. As soon as you think enough time's passed that you can like inch out of here, I'd think enough time's passed to give them another drop. I've invited such and such over here, and guess what I'm going to tell them today? And you can't stop me.
Yeah, why fight it? There'll be good days and bad. But he pushes her up against the wall and says, you're a cunt. She's like, I'm the cunt you married. The only time you ever liked this cunt. No, wait.
No,
the only time you ever liked yourself is when you were trying to be someone this cunt might like. I'm not a quitter. I'm that cunt I killed for you. Who else can say that? And he says, all we ever do is hurt each other, Amy. And she says, that's marriage.
Baby. That's life, baby. Something like that, yeah.
I've not found that to be marriage. I've found marriage to not be...
it's us avoiding hurting each other.
Not
that, but
not
like...
bad. I don't know. Marriage has been pretty good.
Yeah, it's partnership.
Again, it was pretty rocky until we did the whole Gone Girl thing, honestly.
Once you get through one news cycle together, you can do anything.
No, but the movie has the thing about marriage is so much work, and in the book it makes an even bigger deal about that, about all these people coming in when you get married, like, listen, you got to understand there's all these rules, don't go to bed mad, et cetera, et cetera.
If you start off with good communication, you end up in the middle with good communication, and you're going to keep going and pushing through with... Marry someone that's okay with being wrong and admits when they are. Marry someone that takes turns being the victim and having problems. And marry someone that wants to learn something new every day, including about themselves. That's it.
That's all you gotta do.
It's hard, but it's possible.
Right, but it rings false to me when people say, oh, it's so much fucking work. No, it's not.
It is when you do it the traditional way.
It's fine. It's easy. Well, we see the interview, and he's the one who volunteers for the camera, and we're going to have a baby.
Because he felt the prompt. And we're pregnant.
And this is intercut with Margot crying and saying,
yeah, you're breaking my heart.
And the truth, I think you want to stay with her.
And that kind of helps me. Because before Margot says that, I feel for him. And I mean, there's a part of me that's, I mean, if you want to fight and you want to get away from this woman, you fight, you figure it out. You work with the cop, you really get her in jail, you do something if you're scared of her. But until Go says that, I'm like, oh, he does like this more than he's letting on. He was bored. Now he's not bored.
What else is he gonna do? He's gonna end up with an Andy and leave her after 2 years.
He doesn't want all the control. He's tall and handsome and owns a bar. Like, that gets boring. I want someone that's got my balls.
He's Reynolds Woodcock from Phantom Thread. I want my wife to poison me with mushrooms every night, and she can control me because that's not. I'm Anastasia Steele. Just tell me what to do.
I made a bed wet.
Yeah, some people just want that. And so the movie ends where it began. What are you thinking? What have we done to each other? What will we do to each other? She looks into the camera.
I'm Rosamund Pike.
She's looking at us. What does she think about us? What are we thinking? That's the end of our movie discussion. Great.
The side of his cock, the side of his cock, the side of his cock, the side of his cock. Was
the base of his cock, the base of his cock, the base of his cock, the base of his cock. It was real.
Big.
It was real. It was real. It was fake.
Big. Gone.
5 out of 5 stars. Love this movie. My favorite David Fincher movie.
My third favorite. 5 out of 5.
I think in my rankings of the movies of the 2010s, I have it number 2 behind only Mad Max Fury Road. Perfect movie. I love it so much. It's the power of cinema, et cetera, et cetera. What else do you got to say?
Ain't nothing else to say. I could watch this movie every year of my life, and that's real important to a guy like me.
Truly the most fun movie. Just put it on and go away.
Everyone's a little injured, but everyone's also having the ride of their life. I'd say the biggest fucking victim in this whole thing is Go, and she's fine.
She's fine. She's with Boney, getting bony. And I look forward to talking about Memento in 2 weeks, aka the Laci Roth story.
What? Oh.
Of I forget everything after I was told it after.
And I still
5
haven't
minutes.
seen this movie, and if I had, I wouldn't remember
You've
it.
never seen it?
No, been waiting.
Maybe you have though.
No, I haven't.
You know who's in this movie?
Don't tell me.
Okay. Guy Pearce. Sorry. Yeah, Summer of Nolan begins in 2 weeks. I'm very
Have
excited.
they already announced it?
Yeah, at the beginning of this episode, 3.5 hours
Remember.
ago. Summer is our favorite time of the year. Everybody has a lot of fun. We change our theme song. We're very excited about our new theme song. We're very excited to talk about.
Do you know what fucking occurred to me?
What?
We never did a new theme song for the fact that our fucking podcast is not called Load Bearing Beams anymore. We have the wrong theme song at the end of every fucking...
No, well, we took out the part where we say load-bearing beams.
Wade still sings it?
In our main theme song, it does not say load-bearing beams.
I know, but
yes, it's we're still called Load-Bearing Beams Production, so it's a nod to our history.
Oh.
And that's just for the fans. If you've been with us since the beginning, you're like, yeah, I know what they're talking about.
Okay. All right, gotcha. I was like, did me and Matt totally forget the name's different?
So Memento, Christopher Nolan in 2 weeks. Look forward to that. Check us out on social media, YouTube, Laci's Coloring Channel, Movie Character Morphs 1WR Coloring Channel. And I'm on Letterboxd at Matt Stokes 9. Lacey's on Letterboxd at
Load Bearing Laci.
My band has music. The
It's
band is
called
Rural Route 9.
Easy for you to say.
The album is The Joy of Averages. It includes the song you're hearing right now.
The cover art is by me.
Great cover art, as always. Laci, I said, I want give me some sort of future brutalist stuff, and she gave me this.
I just fucking splooged it all over his come on me tits. Okay, I love you. Goodbye.
Bye now.
What the...
3, 4. Everybody, love bearing beams, love bearing